Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, bitches of all ages, welcome to the greatest shitty show the world has ever heard. A random ass podcast with three random ass people talking about wrestling, talking about cartoons, talking about the Rangers of Power. Three different topics for us tonight. One of which being a prediction show for WWE SummerSlam 2024. Another being a cartoon discussion that I don't know what the topic is going to be yet, but it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, blindness. Blindness is one of the best parts of life. When you don't know what's coming, but you can still make gold out of it. And speaking of that, our third topic and the topic that we're going to be starting off with tonight, Power Rangers, and three different rounds of basically my dumbass equivalent of the Deadliest Warrior, of who would win in a battle between two Sixth Rangers, two Red Rangers, and two different core teams of Power Rangers. The core being the members that started the series or were part of the team as of episode 5, not counting Sixth Ranger or Auxiliary Rangers. But it'll be a lot of fun. And the person who's going to be debating me in the Power Rangers side of things is the host of the very successful, and I'm very proud of him for being able to take this off the ground as well as he has. The host of PD's Awesome Guest Panel, the man, the myth, the avocado sandwich himself, Peter Bowman.
Wow. John, I'm a little bit taken aback by that. Thank you.
Or you expect me to just shit on you? You're the guest of honor.
Thank you
And
so much.
you're probably the only one here that would actually give me a good debate on Power Rangers
Well,
with
you know
your
what?
knowledge. So
I appreciate it. And you know what? What better way to do it with a with such a noble and worthy opponent like you, Silver?
but we need a referee. We need an unbiased referee.
You're right. We do.
We need a referee who knows just enough about Power Rangers, and a referee who is very familiar with the power scaling community.
And who might that be, Silver?
I mean, I tried getting Ron Perlman, but he wasn't available. I
Oh,
tried getting an actual Power Ranger, but they weren't available.
why did you tell
None of
me?
your contacts came through. None of my
What?
contacts came through.
John, I'm sure.
Both said, "Fuck you." You didn't have enough food in the fridge.
No, I'm sure that John Tui guy could have done it for us.
I could have, but you never gave me his number.
Silver, we
But
could have gotten Commander Doggy.
you don't command the doggy. The doggy commands you. Okay. If I've learned anything about Space Patrol Delta,
Hey, stop, or I'll get a Space Ninja with attitude on you, Silver.
if that does not go viral, I swear to God, Pete.
Alright,
But
but all,
we
all
got the
seriousness,
gone.
oh, I'm saying, let's find out who our special moderator is, Silver.
Without further ado, he has been my co-host for years and years and years. Always does a bang up job. Regularly puts me in my place, as I regularly put him in his. We've had famous rivalries in fighting games, trivia games, and everything in between. He has been my Onichan at one point in Onigiri. He is the man, the myth, the rice ball, the wedge of cheese, the mousinator, Cloud 9999.
Say his name and he appears.
Uh,
This is your moderator of power. And may the power be in my hands for this event. Because in power, we trust. And that is all.
God bless that legendary flag, legendary pose.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like I make it sound like Cloud doesn't know much about Power Rangers. He actually does, just not
Yeah.
as much as me and Pete.
Yeah, not the
So
most
he
informative
would
person in the
make
room.
a good proxy for our audience
Yeah.
thank you.
to
And if I want to
determine
be,
how well we do.
and if I want to be unbiased on anything, Power Rangers would probably be the topic because I know you guys are bigger fans of Power Rangers than me.
Right.
So.
But then we also have wrestling, which,
Yeah.
Pete and Cloud are the two biggest fans here of that. With me a close third. I know my stuff too, just not so much recent stuff. And cartoons,
Right.
cartoons is mostly all Cloud and Pete.
True.
And I'm here for the ride.
How we
I know
did
some
it
stuff,
for this
just not as
podcast.
much as you two.
How we're doing it for this podcast, obviously, we each chose a talking point, obviously. So for like the wrestling aspect, we all agreed we're gonna do SummerSlam. For the Power Ranger, I think it was, whose idea was it to do
Mine.
Yeah. So then, so P is with the whole SummerSlam wrestling thing, and then with the topic that we're gonna do for the cartoons, I feel like something we're all gonna be knowledgeable about. I think you're probably gonna be the least knowledgeable, Silver, but I think you'll still have a lot of.
I'll probably be able to keep up.
No, you will, because I feel like you were somewhat a huge fan of said series, but we'll see.
Oh yeah. So starting with Power Rangers. Peter, I challenge you to a best of 3.
You're on.
You pick a 6th Ranger, I pick a 6th Ranger. You pick a Red Ranger, I pick a Red Ranger. You pick a main team, I pick a main team. We're gonna state our cases for each team. We're gonna go back and forth. And whoever can give the best argument based on their power, weapons, abilities, and skills, who would win in a fight. And Cloud will be the referee. He will listen to our arguments. He will ask us questions if he deems it necessary. And whoever he feels is most knowledgeable or states the best case will win.
Will be the winner.
The first to 2 wins the debate. If there has to be a third round, the third round will be main team versus main team. So, like for instance, if you pick Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as your team, then you have access to red, blue, black, yellow, pink, but you don't have access to the green or white Rangers since they are 6th Rangers, and they join later on.
And they are by far like one of the best Rangers in said series every single time.
Oh, also, for the 6th Ranger, actually, before I get there is one team and one 6th Ranger that I've banned both sides from using because of just how stupidly busted they are.
Oh.
And that is the Super Mega Force team. for their ability to transform into basically any other Power Ranger that's ever existed.
Yep.
So they're completely busted. They're not allowed to be in this discussion.
Exactly. We're not doing this like death battle style. We're not doing no bullshit. We're doing clear cut. Like we're keeping it down the middle.
And if you're picking Tommy Oliver, you're only picking one Ranger suit of his. This is no Legend of the Dragon where he gets to swap powers. You're either doing MMPR green, MMPR white, Turbo red, Zeo red, or Dino Thunder black if you choose a Tommy.
That's a lot of choices.
That's the fairest way to do him.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets picked.
I feel there's only 2 right answers to that, but like still you can't go wrong with any of them.
Well, only 2 of them count as 6th Rangers. Only 2 of them count as Red Rangers.
Right.
And then Dino Thunder Black would be part of the main Dino Thunder team. If Dino Thunder is selected.
Mr. Moderator.
Yes.
How much time do we get to speak our case?
So what would you say is generally the amount of time somebody needs to, go for like their side? Because are we doing it like politics style, or are we doing it like?
Well, I feel like we could split it into different categories.
No, I mean like how much time? Like each round. So for example, the first round is what? Like you guys are competing with what? With the first?
I'd say for each category, I would say a minute at most.
A minute? Okay. All right. Because
a minute should be good enough to describe what their weapons can do, what their abilities are, things like that.
You know what?
And obviously, we can go back and forth with it.
Yeah, I'll be more lenient.
We could introduce stuff as needed.
I'll be more lenient. What about minute 30? Minute 30.
All right, fine.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have a stopwatch. I'm gonna hit that minute 30. When I say go, you state your points and boom. And then when time runs out, ding, you're done. Right. Okay. Let me get the stopwatch. Is there any other rules that needs to be said? Sort of yours? No.
So like I said, the Megaforce team is completely banned. They cannot be selected. That means, but the regular Megaforce team is allowed. It's like the non. So so for those who know Power Rangers and Sentai, Megaforce was split into 2 seasons. One season covered Go Sager, which was an angel themed show where they used power cards to summon their abilities and weapons and all that. And then there's Super Megaforce, which was Go Kaiger, where they used Ranger keys to transform into previous Rangers. The pirate transformation and the Ranger keys are banned, but the Megaforce abilities are allowed, like the cards and whatnot. And their super mode is allowed if you want to use them as your main team. Mm-hmm. For Megaforce, your 6th Ranger would be Robo Knight. Super Megaforce Silver is off the table.
Ooh.
But Robo Knight would be your representative for Megaforce if you go there. Does that sound reasonable?
No, reasonable, yeah.
Yep.
So with that being said, our first round is going to be 6th Ranger. Pete will select the 6th Ranger, and then I will select the 6th Ranger. Peter, floor is yours.
Okay.
Wait.
So
and wait, Pete. Sure. And your time starts now.
Wait, no, call out.
Yeah.
Before we do a stopwatch on it, let's confirm that we haven't doubled.
Hey, that's the whole point of this game. Like, he's going first, so if he stole from you, then you gotta on the fly, come up with something else. Because you give him all the chance to go first. So I think that's the added challenge. And you said, more, like 90% he's not gonna choose what you're gonna choose. So put your money where your mouth is.
All right, fine.
Yeah, just make it.
Peter, who is your 6th Ranger?
My 6th Ranger is the Red Quantum Time Force Ranger, Eric.
Quantum Ranger Eric Myers. Good choice. Yeah.
And the reason I chose him is because he just has a phenomenal artillery, and by that I mean he has. I'm going to read the following that he has. He has, I believe, this is one of. I don't know. This is let's see where it is. I'm trying to locate the page. Pardon me.
The more you study, the more time you waste.
Okay, well, the point. Let me just state the thing. Like, he has his own Megazord. He has probably one of the most powerfulest weapons in the world, like the Quantum Megazord, and his personality is also a very strong one too. Not many 6 Rangers have a strong personality like his, though. I mean, his actually kind of is interesting because his kind of rivals Jason Font's character in Time Force as well. Given the fact that like they both have they both want to compete for like which one is like the better of the two. Not only that, but it's like some kind of rivalry. It reminds me so much of Ash and Gary from Pokemon, if you ask me. But I digress. But that's my argument.
You're done? All right. Stop. Okay. Now, where's your Silver?
So I didn't say this on air, and that's my fault. But Zords have nothing to do with this fight. It's what the individual ranger can do on foot, not in a cockpit.
I understand now.
So I don't hold that against Pete because that's my mistake.
Yep.
But
Oh.
because I even told you in person, Pete, that we weren't using Zords, just what the individual ranger can do.
That was my mistake, and I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, but because I didn't say it on air, like don't hold that against Pete's argument. Cloud.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Because I didn't reiterate it.
No, I'm holding it on you, Silver, because I told you, say what you want to say before Pete goes. So, if anything, that's
Right,
one demerit on
but
you, Silver.
I talked to him about it, just not on air.
Would you like me
Oh.
to redo my answer though, or no?
Would you want him to redo?
You can redo your argument if you want.
Okay.
If Cloud
with
allows
permission.
it, get a redo.
Yeah, with
With the
permission.
power vested in me, I will declare a redo. You can start right now.
Okay. So my pick for the sixth ranger happens to be Eric Myers, the Red Quantum Time Force Ranger.
All right.
Reason I picked Eric is because he's a very unique character though, and he shows how powerful he could be to the group though. And I've written down recently I wrote down stuff to like earlier to prove like why he was so like one of the best though, like and why he was like one of the best. Like first of all, he was the polar opposite of Wes, and given the fact that Wes grew up very rich, Eric grew up dirt poor, which shows that he's more of a street fighter and he has like that's the fight for life. And not only that, but he's proven to be he even traveled back in time also to get the T-Rex in order to get his powers in order to become a ranger. Not only that, I also like to include the fact that Eric also never really officially joined the Time Force group, so he was kind of like a lone wolf, and that's another reason why I respect about him. And he was also a leader of the Silver Hills, the Silver Guardians, pardon me. And one thing was cool about him is that he never gave up his principles. That's my argument.
All right. Boom. You have a response for that, Silver?
I do have a response to that.
All
Eric is a phenomenal choice, by the way.
But your time starts now, Silver. Are you leading into your no?
You forgot a few major things, like your upgrade form, which my Sixth Ranger also has. The White Dino Thunder Ranger, Trent Mercer.
Good pick.
Not only does he have the Drago sword, which gives him the ability to write his name in an awesome way and turn it into an energy projectile, he also has a speed blitz. Combine that with his Dino Gem giving him the ability to basically become a chameleon and blend into his surroundings. He could speed blitz you without you even seeing where he's coming from for major damage. And that's not even taking into account his super dino mode, which gives him blades all over his body for stronger attacks. And you have probably one of the deadliest Power Rangers in history, let alone Sixth Ranger. Time.
Cat. All right, interesting. So both sides. So very.
So, may I flex for a second since my argument is done?
Yes.
Pete, why didn't you bring up his Mega Battle mode?
It didn't come to mind.
His battleizer, basically.
I told you I was coming up with this stuff on the fly, man.
Because if you brought up that battleizer and all the stuff that it could do, It would have been a much tougher
All
fight
right,
for
but
me. I'm
I
not
have a
gonna lie.
question now. This is where I'm gonna have to intervene real quick. If the time is an issue, like should we kind of have like unlimited time for like both sides, but not like to the point where it's like like if it's like if you're making your point and it seems like it's dragging, then maybe I can stop you. But like, do you guys want unlimited time or no?
A better way to do it might be like a back and forth.
I don't think a back and forth is good because then one side doesn't really present all their arguments, like fully, because you're gonna be kind of cutting them off, like. So I think
Fair
like
enough.
both sides
Fair enough,
need
fair
to
enough.
have like their like moment to talk, and then the other side has the moment to talk, and then maybe you guys can have a back and forth, and saying like, oh, like.
Sure. Okay.
Because because what I'll do is I'll be like, okay, you both present your points. Now, who do you think I think is, brought up the better points? And then you could be like, I brought the better points because I mentioned that, and then that's where another person can interrupt and be like, oh, no, but I brought up the better points. Yada yada yada. So it's like, so who are we pitting off right now? We got who and who?
We got the Quantum Ranger versus the White Dino Thunder Ranger.
All right. And now, in your opinion, however, who do you think is the strongest? Matt.
Oh, definitely the White Dino Thunder Ranger for the reasons that I brought up: the speed blitz, his blade transformation, his access to a sword. Yes, Eric does have access to the Quantum Defender, and it's a very good projectile weapon. But Eric has I don't remember a single instance of Eric being able to tag an extremely fast villain with his Quantum Defender, and Trent Mercer is when he's using his Speed Blitz, is one of the fastest Power Rangers around. I don't think Eric could tag him without the upgrade that the Mega Battle gives him.
All right, P, can you contest that?
And even then, you're talking about roller skates versus regular running at light speed.
You got anything to contest that, Pete? Or?
No, everything you said was on point.
Okay. So I guess the first point goes to Silver Cheeky. Silver Cheeks.
I cheated? How?
No, I didn't say you cheat. I said Silver Cheeks. I'm undermining you because you have a cute little doggy. That's your
Fuck you.
All right, round two.
At least my dog knows how to listen, unlike Power. Okay.
Hey, I'd rather have a disobedient Power than an obedient little cheeky dog. I'm just saying. Because I want to suck your blood.
That ain't the only thing you want.
Oh, give this PG, bro.
We gotta keep it PG.
We gotta keep it PG.
There ain't no sausages in this fest.
Yep. So what is topic number 2 that you guys are debating on?
So every Power Ranger team needs a good leader, and the leader is usually the Red Ranger. So for round 2, we are going to pit one Red Ranger versus another Red Ranger. Just the Red Ranger's abilities, not whole team abilities. That would be round 3. So with that being said, Peter, who is your Red Ranger?
My Red Ranger, and I thought about this long and hard with this one, and I actually have some evidence to back up my pick for this one, and that is the late great Pua Magasiva, and that is the Red Wind Ninja Storm Ranger, Shane Clark.
Good pick. Good pick.
And I'll tell you exactly why. And I actually not only is a longtime fan of Ninja Storm, the Ninja Storm season, but I can tell you that these Rangers, have an advantage though. They have the ability, like for instance, Shane has the ability. He has superhuman speed. He has the ability to mind block. He has to manipulate air. He also has ninja beams with his wind morpher. Not only that, he has the ability to enhance his agility. By that, he can leap higher than the average person. He also has the ability to go into stealth mode too. not only that, he's also a very headstrong young man, and he's an excellent skateboarder too. So not only is he a great fighter, he's a trained in ninja training. He has the ability to has the power of wind, and yeah, I think I proved my case. What do you think, Pika?
I think that those some very compelling cases. I think you might have to give Silver a run for his money on that one. Like, what do you got, Silver, to
Oh,
retort for that?
wait.
So-
Can I? I'm sorry. May I say something?
He
Yeah,
just
go
he
ahead.
just realized he has something to add. Do it,
Yeah.
because don't make me correct you twice.
No, you're not going to correct me on this one. No, what Silver was going to say, what I was going to say to Silver is that he has probably the best, in my opinion, the best battleizer in Power Ranger history.
There you go.
Okay, now I'm
Let's
finished.
go.
Now I'm
But
finished.
what does that battleizer do?
Huh?
Really drive it home. What does that battleizer do?
The battleizer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, he has.
Really make me work for this, Pete. Come on.
I'm trying to think. Give me a second, all right, man.
Yeah.
You know,
How does that song
There's
go?
no, there's,
Like,
there's no time on the clock.
I'm a
there's no time.
little
Okay,
fire.
this is not Jeopardy.
Get me
Pika.
over
Unless
him.
Paul starts singing the Jeopardy theme, then we might be in trouble.
Wasn't forgetting that battleizer, but I'm trying to remember what it does. Give me a second.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you'll get in your brain to maybe, like, I don't know, you need your fingers to type something out, but like I think it'll come to you. Like, like, just think about it real quick. You're a battleizer. What would a battleizer do?
I will tell you this though. What I do remember about that it will go in like a battleizer mode, which is the lightning morpher, which it turns into some kind of lightning which hits the enemy and it disintegrates the enemy.
There you go.
and grants the Red Ninja Storm Ranger literal flight.
That is also
Yeah.
true.
Well,
I think I think before you start, Silver, I think Pika, I did pretty good in this one.
I think so too. I think now Silver is gonna be like,
you
grabbing
definitely did better in round two. Definitely.
Yeah, the round one was like a warm up. Like, we're not really
Yeah.
counting that, even though it was a point. You know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
And we could still do all three just for fun if I win round two, but
yeah.
it's up to Cloud if he wants a round three. If I win
Of
this,
course. Yeah. You gotta make it.
but first I gotta state my case.
Right.
For arguably the greatest Swiss Army knife Red Ranger to ever exist. Our Lord and Savior, King Jaden Shiba, the Red Samurai Ranger.
Oh shit.
Probably the greatest Power Ranger swordsman ever lived. What?
Oh, there's an echo.
You said something, Pete?
No, there's an echo. You kind of echoed, Silver, from Pete's side.
Oh, I echoed?
Yeah, you echoed. Yeah. But
So,
you're good. You can continue.
So, our Lord and Savior, King Jaden Shiba.
Oh, yo, Pete,
Oh, I do hear the echo.
Yourself?
What the fuck?
Yeah, mute
Pete,
yourself.
mute yourself.
I'm not muted.
No, I'm saying
Oh,
mute
I'm
yourself.
asking you to mute yourself
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
because we're getting an echo from your end.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Hold on.
Okay.
I just
Take
doing
three.
that. Uh-oh. He unmuted. Okay, never mind.
Take three. Our,
All right.
our glorious Lord and our glorious Lord and Savior, King Jaden Shiba, the Red Samurai Ranger, arguably the greatest swordsman in the Power Rangers franchise,
Right.
has the spin sword that can transform based depending on which. Why am I seeing the MMPR opening?
Hey, make a point.
He's running mental war games on me now. Okay. He knows he's cooked. So yeah, spin sword has the ability to transform based on different discs that are inserted into it, like the Fire Smasher, which is Jaden's main weapon, which is a big ass sword that's able to utilize the element of fire. If that's not enough, that fire smasher can turn into a bazooka with other discs to do projectile attacks. And if those aren't enough, he also has the bazooka for also long range attacks. Like he has two different forms of long range weaponry. And that's not even getting into all of his transformations, like the super mode using the black box, which gives him enhanced speed and power. The shark attack mode, which gives him a upgraded sword that basically functions like a snake sword that can travel all over the place and just mow people down with range. And for the toughest threats, he is able to utilize Shogun mode, the power of the ancestors, which gives him enhanced defense, a big ass suit of armor, which is probably one of the greatest looking transformations in the franchise. The armor, which lets him endure attacks a lot better, a, a more powered up version of the spin sword for greater offense, and it's basically just he's a Swiss Army knife. Like any situation you put him in, he has an answer for and then some. Done.
Okay. Now, Pete, what's your response to that?
Shogun mode is basically the answer to the battleizer. For reference, Pete Cloud.
Okay. So Pete, what do you have to make that? Like, is there anything from your side that you can kind of like debunk any of his statements?
Nothing I can debunk. The only thing I can do is just enhance my original pick, and that is the fact that Shane, had so much. He has the edge on so many aspects. I mean, he's a trained ninja. He has the ability to have the power of part of the wind elements of there's wind or wind, water, and I believe it's wind, earth, and water, and he has one of those powers. So I think he still possesses like that kind of. So yeah, going back to what Silver said, he's one of the greatest swordsmen in the world. But I believe that Shane has other elements that can also counter his pick.
And you can say the same thing about Jaden. Like, yeah, Shane will attack from far away, but Jaden really just has to wait for that one opening or Shane to decide to get close if Jaden is blocking too many of his projectile attacks. But once Shane decides to get up close with his speed, Jaden just really has to anticipate that and counter strike,
Um,
which any trained swordsman worth their salt would be able to do.
Those are some compelling points, Pete. Like,
Pete,
what do you got to say about that?
those were compelling.
No, I'm saying, yeah, those are compelling points. Like, I want to see if Pete can counteract what you just said. Because this one's kind of a close one from like my standpoint, looking at both sides. Because I'm wondering if Pete can like pull a Houdini and actually mention something that kind of lowers some of your sentiments and kind of gets you tilted. So ain't gonna lie.
Well, like Silver said, like Jaden could do far distance move just like Shane can, and I think when it comes to like swordsmanship, yeah, Jaden's excellent swordsmanship, but I believe Shane as well, proves as what he's pretty handy with his artillery, like whether it be in a sword or a laser blaster.
Shane definitely has the speed advantage. I concede that. He definitely has the speed advantage. But Jaden has more experience. And experience is often the deciding factor in any weapon-based fight.
But question for you, Silver, like, what is Jaden gonna do when, like, can he not get vaporized by Shane? Is what I'm basically trying to figure out. Like, is there no way, like, does he have like vaporized? Because basically, you talked about how, like, he has the power to kind of like shoot that gun and kind of disintegrate you and vaporize you. It's basically Like, do you have a defense to
Well,
that?
Shogun mode would have the defensive capabilities to withstand that attack. Even if he
Okay.
couldn't, Jaden has the bazooka, or actually no, even better than the bazooka, he has the Fire Smasher bazooka mode, which can fire a shot just as strong as that to counteract it. And the real question is, can Shane recharge that attack before Jaden readies the bazooka to continue long range assaults before Shane can recharge his disintegrating blast? I don't think
Can
his
he?
recharge is quick enough.
Yes, and
You think you can do it, Pete?
I think he can. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's
He's
definitely
saying
it's definitely a close fight.
it is. I guess when it comes to endurance, which character has the better endurance? So, what do you kind of say?
I think Shane has, because he's more physical, as being part of the Ninja Academy. I would think he would be more physical, and thus his endurance would be a little bit more resilient.
But wind
Endurance
is
is key.
more
Like
based for maneuverability than endurance, though.
I know, but I'm saying he has the experience from the Ninja Wind Academy. I'm saying like he's more flexible due to his training there.
Yeah, okay, sure, but Jaden has trained as a samurai his whole life and dueled Decker for like 3 days straight, nonstop, without getting tired. I think that's more of an endurance feat than anything Shane can do. Then that's without any of his transformations, just base Jaden with
And
the base samurai powers.
you
He
don't think
fought
age
Decker
has,
to a standstill for basically 3 days straight.
you know what? And you don't think age has anything to do with it? Because Shane is younger than Jaden.
So Shane's older than Jaden.
Wait, Shane's older? I thought Jaden was older.
Shane? No. Shane was a Power Ranger since the early 2000s. Jaden became a Ranger in like the 2010s.
No, I know that, but I'm saying like in storyline purposes,
No,
like
he's talking about character age.
yeah,
Character age.
character age.
Character Jaden was like 18, 19 when he became a Ranger.
And how old was Shane?
That's your character. You figure it out.
I wanted to know the age. I wasn't going that far into it.
Let's be reasonable and say they're around the same age.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Shane still did not train his entire life. And Shane was not a very good student when he was in the Ninja Academy. Like he goofed off a lot. Whereas Jaden was completely dedicated to his training from a very young age to fulfill his mission.
Okay, the question I have for both of y'all is, what would you say is each of your Rangers' greatest weakness?
All right, so
Hey, you can
I'll
go first,
start.
Silver. Yeah.
I'll start.
Yeah.
Jaden's greatest weakness is his inability to want to be part of a team. He has that loner mentality that he feels he has to do everything by himself, and that more often than not got him into trouble, especially against stronger opponents. That he would take a beating and leave himself weakened when it wasn't necessary because he refused to rely on a team early on. But that's
Right.
also because he trained most of his life by himself.
Right.
So he had to overcome that upbringing.
Okay.
Pete?
All right, Pete. Yeah, Pete. What would you say is your Shane's greatest weakness?
That every time when he's in a group with Dustin or Blake or Hunter, that his biggest weakness is the fact that he, like Silver said, he goofs off a lot, and then it somehow always gets in the way of his ninja practice, or it becomes a detriment to his ninja practice because it gets in the way and it throws him off, which foreshadows the story of the episodes.
Okay.
And Shane, like Jaden, also had to overcome the there is no I in team mentality. But Shane overcame that a lot quicker than Jaden did, to his credit.
Right. And the thing is, like, knowing what the matchup is, like, just a 1v1, and this is not a team-based thing, so, you know.
So is it
The
really a
whole,
detriment for either of them in that case?
not really. Like, I thought you were gonna mention something like a character flaw, but you guys did not
I mean,
mention no character flaw.
that is Jaden's main character flaw.
I know, but I'm saying something about, like, when it comes to the art of combat, like, where do they lack in the art of combat?
Oh well, with Jaden, it's simple. His long range options have limited ammo, and
Okay.
it takes most of his strength to even aim it. So if the opponent is quick enough or nimble enough, he could avoid Jaden's shots, and then Jaden is back to being defensive.
Okay.
If you want an actual combat weakness.
And what would you say would be Shane's then, from what you remember? So
Shane's biggest combat weakness?
yeah. Because Silver can mention it, because this is something that's gonna benefit his side if he.
I would say combat wise,
Yeah.
Shane's biggest weakness is that he is a little he charges in a little too much by himself without thinking, which sometimes is a detriment to him, but he also has the speed to be able to make a mistake like that and still be fine.
Are you saying he's kind of like hard-headed and he just goes things like head on?
I believe so, yeah. But I'm not as knowledgeable on Shane as Pete would be.
Yeah, Pete. Is there anything that Silver didn't mention that you want to bring to the table?
Shane's biggest combat weakness.
Biggest combat weakness?
Yeah.
I stated Jaden's.
Is that sometimes his special weapon doesn't always go to plan? Because I remember I believe it was episode Boxing Baparu tried to he tried to shoot a Baparu, but unfortunately it was what's it called, a ricochet by Myra Capri's shield. Of all things, Myra and Capri's shield. And even Myra was shocked, saying, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe it worked." So let me just say that that would be the equivalent, guys, of if Little Mac in Mike Tyson's Punch Out lost the fight against Glass Joe.
No way.
No, and that's not a knock at Myra Capri, because I'm a huge Myra Capri fan. I'm talking about like how that Myra's artillery is not the greatest.
Right. The versatility ain't really there. Yeah.
Capri's artillery is excellent. Myra's not so much.
I'm not gonna lie, Silver. Like, Pete's making some great points on his side. Like, I'm gonna have to swing on his favor. Like I don't know. Like you got one final statement to kind of because I might have to just give it to Pete on this one.
You know what? I think Pete earned it.
Pete earned it. Yeah, he did his research.
I can't really say anything more that I haven't already said.
Right.
To benefit Jaden.
Right.
Like Shane has the speed advantage. Shane has the attribute advantage. Like Shane's definitely the funnier character.
Oh,
yeah.
I would also
stronger, but strength doesn't matter if you can't hit.
I would also like to add. I would also like to add to the matter too. Like sometimes I think Shane's biggest weakness is like sometimes he thinks he's too good for his own game. For instance, like when that in karate when they have you chop that board with your hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
They had the same thing where they made him chop like a cinder block, and he failed miserably because he thought he could do it. He's like, I could take this challenge, and then when he did it, he hurt his hand.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what Silver said he wanted to do, because he thought that shit was plywood, and he thought he could do it, but he broke his whole freaking hand, right, Silver?
That was when I was like 7, 8 years old.
The amount of cockiness
And that was
Silver
part of
had
karate
on the
training.
episode.
No, it was part of
Exactly.
karate training.
Oh, okay, so you had to do it.
Yeah, you
Gotcha.
learned how to break boards in karate. Pete's right.
I know.
Oh,
Okay, bet.
Silver. Before we go to
That's
round
an actual thing. Yeah.
All right, before we go to round
Before we go into
three,
round
what do you
3.
think?
what would the topics be in regards to the cartoon one?
Cloud has not said it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a debate for the cartoon one. We're just going to be talking about, like, if anything, I'm going to be asking questions, and it's
Oh,
gonna be
okay.
what your thoughts and
the only
impressions
debate
are,
is the
and
Power
what do you
Rangers
feel like,
one.
and what.
All right.
Right. And trust me, if it was a debate for the cartoon one, like, realistically speaking, I think you'd smoke it. Take that. Really say. Like, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, what is the third topic? So, what are we doing for the final topic?
So, the main thing about Power Rangers is teamwork and your ability to work together with the other Rangers that you were made to join forces with to defend the Earth. So, with that being said, our third round, we're each picking a team of core Rangers. For instance, all the Rangers from a series that were on the team as of episode 5 are considered the core Rangers, not counting Sixth Ranger or extra Rangers that join later on in the series. And we're going to decide which of the two teams, work best as a team, have the best abilities, like so on and so forth. Not counting Zords, because we're not taking Megazords into account, but if the Rangers have a transformation that the entire team can do, that counts.
Yep.
And if a Red Ranger has a transformation that the rest of the team can't do, you can use it, but preference will be given to a group transformation as opposed to an individual one.
Right. It's like a group effort, basically.
So, like, for instance, SPD has the SWAT mode that all 5 core Rangers can do, but the Red Ranger also has a Battleizer that he can use as well. SWAT
Kind of
mode
fitting,
will be allowed.
SPD,
You could use the Battleizer, but it's not going to weigh as much as the SWAT mode will.
Right.
Because it's team unison.
Right.
But with that, like, does that make sense, Pete?
Can we bring up the fact that each of them have their own unique style of weapons?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm
What
pretty much.
the team can do and how they synergize with each other.
You got
Right.
it. I got it. Now I'm prepared for this one.
All right. With that being said, you're going first again, Pete. You gotta give us what you got.
Man, I must be feeling very lucky that I'm always number one on these things.
I know.
All right, so my pick as far as best team, my opinion, and part of me is this 8-year-old me is gonna be happy to say this answer, and that is the In Space team.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why. That not only do they have really kick-ass astromorphers, but their weapons are really cool. I mean, even their morph sequence is just really cool. Like, and it's all silver in unison. Like when they go, let's rock it, and then they hit 3, 3, 5, and then they all morph at the same time. Incredible opening of how they morph, and they each have their own unique style of weapons. For instance, Andros, the red In Space Ranger, has a spiral saber. The black In Space Ranger carries something that looks like a long gun, but it's also like a combo stick called a lunar lance, which I believe is also a gun and a blunt object. Then you have the Blue Ranger who has an axe and a gun. Then you have the yellow In Space Ranger who has the slingshot gun, where she's able to combine her gun and the slingshot. And this is the cool part about all the Rangers too, guys, is that they're able to take their one weapon and either use it as an individual weapon or you combine it with their blasters, which I find very cool. Then, of course, Andros has he combines his main weapon with his blaster to create a Spiral Saber booster mode, in which, combined with his Astral Blaster, the Spiral Saber creates a red blast that will destroy any monster, which of course would lead them to being enlarged for foreshadowing events. Then, of course, the other Rangers have their own weapons that will be used together when they form it together, called the Quadro Blaster, which is where all their weapons combine equal this Quadro Blaster to defeat the enemy. Like the Spiral Saber leads to the monsters growing at large proportions. And not only that, I would like to also conclude with the fact that they have each member of the team have what they call the Astral Blasters. The Red Ranger has a red battleizer armor, which is used to take on like a number of like I think he took this on in the Psycho Rangers. Take the three Psycho Rangers out. The battleizer armor and what he calls the battleizer gauntlet. And every member of each In-Space Ranger have what they call a Galaxy Glider, which is this kick-ass space surfboard sort of thing. But I would like to conclude with saying that not only was my season of my team not only defeated the United Evil, like the United Alliance of Evil, like which is all the evils during the Zordon era, but they also help save the universe from existence. And my season, but this team was also the one that saved everybody both on screen and off screen, if you know what I mean. Back to you, moderator.
Wow. I ain't gonna lie, Silver, you might be in trouble. It's safe to say I think Pete made you lost in Galaxy with that argument. Because you said in Space Team that you lost in Galaxy is like the other Anyways, you can go.
Peter,
Yes.
that might have been the second best team you could have possibly chosen for this.
Who was the first?
The amount of disrespect. The amount of disrespect is
I am not. Yeah, but you know
I'm
what?
not. No. This is actually a compliment. Because he brought up some amazing points, like the fact that his
Right.
team defeated a United Alliance of Evil before they took over the world.
And Dark Spectre.
Right.
And took out Dark Spectre.
But my team avenged the world after it was 99% conquered in a post-apocalyptic world. My team is the RPM Rangers. And like I said, they beat a villain that already conquered basically the entire planet. A villain that had the ability to create a robot army, the likes of which the world has never seen. And these five individuals came together to form the RPM Rangers. You have Red Ranger Scott, who's a military pilot. You have the Blue Ranger, who is a mechanic named actually I don't remember his name right now, but his power is being Scottish. You have the Yellow Ranger, who has the ability to use the zip charger, which is basically a projectile disc that can ricochet around. You have the Black Ranger, Dylan, who is a cybernetically enhanced fighter with the ability to create an energy shield that will deflect any attack for 5 seconds. You have one of the greatest Green Rangers of all time in Ziggy with the ability to teleport and combine his weapon with the Black Ranger, like the other 4 In-Space Rangers are able to combine their weapons together. And then you have the 3 RPM, then you have RPM Red, Blue, and Yellow, who combine their weapons together to form a second all-powerful blaster to counteract the Red Ranger's Spiral Saber blaster combo. And then if that's not enough, all 5 weapons can combine together for an even stronger attack that I don't think the In-Space Rangers would have any real defense against. But you can't say the same thing about RPM because, like I said, Dylan's shield can block basically any attack. So if they go for their 2 super weapons attack at the same time, Dylan can just stand in front of the rest of the team, activate his shield, and eat that shit like it's breakfast. While the other RPM Rangers can teleport using Ziggy's ability and counterattack very easily, very effectively, might I add. And that's not to mention Scott's ability, the Street Saber Strike, where it's another speed blitz, but its duration is a lot shorter than Trent's. But he has the added benefit of being able to basically slide along the track, like to throw the opponent off of where he's going to strike from, and then strike quick and true. They don't, RPM may not have transformations like In-Space Red does, but with their genetically enhanced abilities and like what the Morphing Grid gives them is a good enough counter to where, with everything I said combined, I believe RPM can take In-Space. But I'll be damned if you didn't bring up some really good points, Pete.
I do want to continue to bring up some more of those good points, actually.
Not to interrupt you, Pete. Like, I just find it funny how he was talking about RPM and just RPM's playing on the screen. Because I'm not gonna lie to you,
Yep.
when Silver said half his point, Jungle Fury was playing, and like I don't know that, but I heard that other half though. That other half is pretty important though. So yeah, you get it.
And now you're seeing Samurai.
And now I'm seeing the Jaden that you're usually talking about.
Yep.
Hey, what's your point, Pete?
While
He didn't say.
What you got to add on to it?
While you raised some very, very valid points, Silver, I do want to add a couple more things to add to my argument here. And before I do that, I want to ask you a question. What planet is Andros from?
Ooh.
Tell me that. What planet is he from?
Fuck, what was it called?
I
don't remember the name right now, but it was like an alien planet that was taken over by Dark Spectre.
Okay.
That he had to abandon.
The answer to the question was KO-35.
Yeah. No, I fucked up on that.
With that being said, they have an advantage because Andros is not a human. He's not any ordinary human ranger. He is an alien from the planet KO-35, which means he has telekinesis abilities, which gives him an edge and an advantage when fighting his opponents. Not only that, but I believe also as well that in the In-Space team probably has one of the greatest sixth ranger. Arguably the greatest sixth ranger that ever existed, and that was Zane.
But the sixth rangers are not a factor in this fight.
I know not a factor. I'm just saying like that was part of the team, but that's not related to that.
It's just the core team, not adding six rangers and not adding extras.
Yeah. Okay, but what I'm about to say is going to be related to the core team, and that is the fact that the In-Space team were able to defeat not only Astronomer's army, but they were able to defeat King Mondo's army, or Zed's army, and Divatox's army. In addition to that, they were able to rid the world of all evil by destroying Zordon and purifying every evil that was in the world. So, with that being said, Silver, without the In-Space Rangers, there would be no RPM Rangers.
Not true, because RPM is from an alternate universe. Or / alternate dimension.
But you're not to tell me that there's not a way that alternate universe could be alternated?
But the RPM universe is not part of the main Power Ranger universe, just like Dino Charge is not part of the main Power Ranger universe.
If that's the case,
Zordon Z-Wave would not have meant anything to the RPM world.
Okay, but if they're not in the same universe, then how is this canon?
How is it canon?
Yeah,
Because
because Silver
how is
Hill.
it canon? Because the RPM Rangers showed up in the Legendary Battle. That
No,
makes them canon.
yeah, but I'm saying like Terra Venture, Silver Hill, Blue Bay Harbor, they're all in the same, universe. You're telling me that this is in one universe where it's by itself?
And how is it canon? Because RPM Red literally traveled to the main universe during Samurai and Clash of the Red Rangers,
Okay,
thereby making his world canon to ours.
that's the only way it became canon because I had no knowledge of that. Because like I told you, Silver, I've had knowledge of Power Rangers from Mighty Morphin to Mystic Force.
Right. Well, that's why
And
I
that's
mainly
yeah.
picked Rangers and teams that are not from that era to give you the most amount of options you could pick.
Yeah, but that's why but you're just proving the point that I had no knowledge of the RPM team
No,
because I did not know that he traveled in time with the Red Rangers. I did not know that.
no. But now that you know that, the question I have for Silver now is like all the RPM Rangers are all human, right? So,
Except for Dylan, yes. Dylan's a cyborg.
well, can Dylan combat the telekinesis that one of the Rangers in space can have?
Well, first off, Andros never uses his telekinesis in battle. So that's kind of a non-factor. He's only ever used it unmorphed.
But he still has that power though. You can't take
He
that
still
away.
has that power, but he's never used it in a fight.
No, but he's
So
no, but no,
realistically
but the thing is,
speaking, he would not use it in a fight.
no. But the thing is, the whole point of this like matchup is like basically knowing every character and what they have in their repertoire. If it was mentioned in the
And
show,
Andros' telekinesis is only moving small objects.
yeah, but his doing that actually affected the story, just like in the episode Shell Shocked when he was trying to cut the wire when he wasn't being shown on screen.
Oh,
so his telekinesis
that
actually helps, be a catalyst to the story.
Right.
True, but there's nothing to say that even if Andros decided to use the telekinesis to launch a small object, that one, it would even be able to hit the RPM Rangers because of their enhanced speed, and two, Dylan is just a brute. Depending on what the object is, he might just power through it and not care. And he's durable enough that depending on what the object is, it won't even matter. And even if it does matter, and he feels that Andros is charging an attack that would be too dangerous to let his team get hit by, again, jump in front, 5-second invincibility shield. As long as Dylan believes the shield will work, it will work, and the attack will be neutralized.
You made fair points, Silver. I made fair points, but the real verdict goes to Pika.
All right, it's all gonna really come down to this one follow-up question here, and like I think we all you guys explained it perfectly individually, like what everybody can really do. But what I'm trying to figure out is like and I think you guys did say, but I want to hear and reiterate it again. What were like the huge team feats that each team produced in the show, and like what was the ramifications of each feat? So you can go again, Silver.
You want me to start?
Yeah, you can start this time. Yeah.
Sorry.
So the team working together in different facets were able to finally destroy the robot that basically conquered the entire RPM world, who was thought to be unkillable. And they defeated multiple bodies of his, including his strongest body, which was basically able to withstand a nuke. And basically, that final body was basically able to disintegrate and upload all of the RPM Zords, the Gold and Silver Ranger, and the RPM Rangers were still able to overcome that using their teamwork.
What was the team attack that they used to vanquish the robot?
It was not an individual attack of the Rangers. It was actually them utilizing the environment around them to basically drop part of a tower onto the robot that crushed and destroyed him. So they used ingenuity instead of raw power.
All right, got you. All right, Pete, the floor is yours now.
And can you repeat the question, please?
So the question was, what was the greatest team feat that they did in the show, and what was the ramifications and the fallout? Yeah.
I would say when they were fighting the Psycho Rangers, and that would be when they were trying to find a way to defeat, after defeating the pink Psycho Ranger, now they had to come up with a way to defeat the blue Psycho Ranger. Problem was, when you have two of the same color fighting against each other, they know their special abilities. So there, it's like Pika. If you and I were each other's counterparts, we know each other's moves. We have the same moves, so you know my defenses and offenses, and vice versa. So the fights are going to be similar. What they did, and I thought this was really cool strategic move, was they had like a chessboard with their characters on it. It was the In Space Rangers, miniature In Space figures, and then miniature Psycho Ranger figures. And what they did was, and this was very clever of them to do, was they only attacked their own color. So why not have one color? So what they did was TJ spray paints all of them blue, so that way they could that way when they fight the Psycho Rangers, there's no Psycho Ranger to fight their respective colors because all they're fighting is a blue. So their advantages, so they're not fighting the same person. So their fighting strategies have now drastically changed because now they're fighting different Rangers. Like a Black Ranger is not fighting a Black Psycho Ranger, or now it's a Black Psycho Ranger fighting a pink, In Space Ranger disguised as a Blue Ranger, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but when this was going successful, they used another strategic Plan B plan, which I thought kicked ass, and Silver probably remembers this too, where they got the Silver Ranger to dress up as Psycho Silver and to make a ploy where like he's actually one of the Psycho Rangers, only to reveal that it was just Zane, the Silver Ranger. So I thought that was a really cool what's it called?
It happened. It
Bait
did
and switch.
happen.
Yeah, bait and switch.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't count for the question, but that definitely happened.
It happened, but I'm not using that as my point. But my point was with the spray paint, and that was my point. How they were able to spray paint the characters, thus making their costumes all like the Blue Ranger. So like now it's like 5 Blue Rangers against 5 different colored Psycho Rangers. So now the advantage points was on Team In Space.
That's my argument. Question though,
yes.
what you're explaining to me, was that the final fight in the show, or was that just one of the fights?
No, the final fight. What?
Yeah, explain the final fight to me real quick.
It was not the final fight of the show.
No,
it was one of the major midpoint battles, though.
The final,
I know, but
the final fight was called Countdown to Destruction. It was a 2-part special. Rangers lost their powers. They lost everything, basically. They were literally tattered clothes, everything.
They didn't lose their powers.
No, I'm just saying that, but they lost their Zords, though.
Their Zords, yes, but not their powers.
Yeah, but they lost their morph ability, didn't they?
No, they were still able to morph.
Okay, then that part I don't remember. Like that part I forgot. Thank you.
They lost their ability to morph after the fight was over.
Okay. Point is that you asked Pika what happened in that episode. Is that the Space Rangers, with the help of the civilians, because they actually joined in the crusade as well to fight the foot soldiers around the world, but with allies like the Blue Centurion, the Phantom Ranger, and stuff like that. They were fighting all
Zeo Gold.
Zeo Gold, yeah. Like Silver mentioned, the United Evil, like all the villains from all the previous Power Ranger seasons gathered together. And they took them on together. And what happened at the end of it, like while the other 4 In Space Rangers were fighting, Astronomer and her what?
Zane was part of that fight.
I'm not counting Zane, but I wasn't counting Zane.
Okay.
No.
Continue.
All right. So the 4 original Rangers were fighting Astronomer and her army and the other armies, while Andros was fighting Astronomer on the ship, while the others were fighting the entire army. Then, on the ship, Andros fought Zordon. I mean, not fought Zordon. He saw Zordon, and then Zordon said that in order to defeat the evils, you have to destroy me. So a reluctant Andros destroyed Zordon, which caused like this energy beam to purify everything that was bad into good. And everything, like the foot soldiers disintegrated to sand, and every human villain that was there turned into good guys. So that basically explains what happened in the last episode and the final fight.
And once that wave happened, then the Space Rangers lost their powers.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Temporarily.
All right, and this is a question for both of y'all.
But that's not.
Yeah.
But that's technically a team fight, but not all five. But not all five Rangers fighting together. It was two separate battles.
But that's
they were buying red time to infiltrate the ship to save Astronema.
I know, but he asked for the final fight. That's why I gave
fight
because the full fight was the Psycho Ranger.
I know, I'm just filling in the gaps. That's all.
Yeah.
No, out of curiosity, I just wanted to know what the final fight was because from what you explained, you explained the final fight for your show. I'm assuming.
Yeah. No, he did a good job too. I just filled in one of the gaps. That's all.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out and this is a question for both of y'all. And this is what had to do with the whole ramifications and what came from that. Which team would you have said had the most influence in the franchise? Because I think Pete said something along the lines of
But with that being said, both In Space and RPM are both seasons that saved the franchise. So if RPM wasn't as successful as it was, Samurai and Beyond would have never existed. Power Rangers would have been canceled after RPM.
So Silver,
just like if In Space wasn't as successful as it was, you wouldn't have had Lost Galaxy and Beyond. And to put Pete's credit, that includes RPM.
Would you also say that?
But that doesn't mean that RPM wouldn't be able to beat In Space in a fight.
Right.
All right. With that being said, basically, Silver is saying that, like Turbo within Space, Operation Overdrive is what that is. Operation Overdrive is Turbo to RPMs in Space, basically.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Correct. Because Operation Overdrive nearly killed Power Rangers too.
I hated that. I hated that season.
Yeah.
Okay, one final question. I guess is kind of goes to the second round because this might be the deciding factor. Who was the team captain in each side?
Andros.
Captain or mentor?
Andros. Captain, leader.
The leader was Scott, but the mentor was Dr. K.
For mine, it was the captain was Andros, but the mentor was technically Zordon because they really didn't have that kind of thing, in Space. I guess
Zordon was not the mentor of the In Space Rangers.
Who was the mentor?
Andros, actually.
So he was the captain and mentor?
He was the leader and mentor because he was the most experienced about space. And if you want to get technical, Alpha was the mentor, but Andros was more of a mentor than Alpha.
Well, it definitely wasn't Deca.
Well, Deca was just the ship navigating system.
Yeah. So that answers my
question. Go on.
Whereas you have Scott, who was in the military and knows how to lead battles, and Dr. K, who basically created not only all the Rangers' equipment, but created the virus that basically took out 99% of the world.
Okay. And let me just say too that Andros, I would say, is one character I would say has probably the biggest balls in Power Rangers history because this guy in the first episode actually went to the United Alliance of Evil and actually showed up in person under a cape, disguised to try to infiltrate their meeting, their big gathering. So to actually go to the gathering at they're surrounded by hundreds of evil generals and foot soldiers. That's pretty ballsy, if you ask me.
I mean, Scott infiltrated a Vengeance-owned slave camp to to free a bunch of slaves from Vengeance's control. Also, so
well,
both Reds went behind enemy lines,
there you go.
which is pretty ballsy for both of them.
There you go. They both get the W's for that.
Right. Yeah,
Sorry, Pete. I'm not giving you that one for free.
I made some pretty good points too, man.
What? Okay, this might be the final question here. What would you say as a team would be each team's character flaw? Like, what did they kind of lack on a team, and that's something they needed to improve on to actually, like it was like kind of like the missing piece for their like team synergy. You can go also. Oh, but you can go. Yeah. Pete.
Well, because I already know the answer to my question, and that is ego. Simply put, ego. Because what happens is that sometimes they get the groups gets in disagreements over petty arguments. It's like you guys got to put your differences aside, and I'll give a perfect example. And Silver, correct me if I'm wrong on this though, but wasn't them bickering? What's it called? Ashley and Cassie bickering, which led to Cassie getting kidnapped, because it was Ashley and Cassie getting kidnapped by one of the Psycho Rangers because of them bickering.
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like
I believe it was Yellow.
Yeah, and I feel like the problem with my team is that sometimes they have different styles that clash. They clash sometimes when it comes to personalities, styles, and that's my team's biggest flaws.
All right, Silver, go. What's your?
So I can name two big flaws with my team. First being Black Ranger Dylan and how long it took for him to even be willing to work as a team with the other Rangers.
He's the Sixth Ranger, right?
No, he's the Black Ranger. He's the one who has the shield.
Who's the Sixth Ranger?
He's the cyborg.
Who's the Sixth Ranger?
RPM Gold and Silver. They didn't show up until I never brought them up actually.
All right, good. Continue. My bad.
So you have Dylan's hard-headedness and being unwilling to take orders from people, which led to a lot of conflicts between him and Scott, the Red Ranger, that had to be overcome throughout the course of the series. And then you have the inexperience of Ziggy, the Green Ranger, where for the longest time he one didn't really know how to fight, and two, he did not know how to control his teleportation that well for a majority of the series. So whenever he would try to use the teleportation, he would teleport his suit away somewhere, or teleport his body and the suit would be on the ground, but everything would not materialize the way you would want it to, which could be a liability in battle.
Do you ever teleport to a person in the bathroom or no?
No, because Disney would never have the balls to do that.
Got you.
But could it realistically happen? Absolutely. They just never did it in the show.
Yeah, but that's tough.
That's Disney.
Yeah, that's Disney in that show. Okay.
But yeah, the main one is the Black and Reds conflict or majority of the show.
Right.
And like Dylan's lone wolf attitude clashing with the teamwork of the rest of the team. And Ziggy's inexperience, him having to learn for the majority of the series how to actually use his powers correctly.
Right. And you feel like by the end of the series they kind of fixed everything.
They became a well-oiled unit by the end of the series, man.
Right. Okay, I think I came to my conclusion. And both sides, I'm not gonna lie, congratulations for both of y'all. You both brought very compelling points, within the franchise, logistics on certain characters, references on certain battles, power-ups, gears, all that. But with Pete's side, he was talking about how, in with Time Force team or in Space Team, that they basically set the standard in the norm of like basically saved the franchise early in its infancy because of how great that series is, like the influence that has of that. While RPM, saved the modern franchise in the sense of like for all the series that we get currently at this time frame right here. But from what I can kind of see from both ends is, I feel like when it came to like the leader aspect, combat aspect, and even like certain quirks and like nuances, I think the the In Space team has the better infrastructure of a team assimilation in the sense of like what their combat is. We're not putting obviously Zord, all the high techs. We're just talking about like individually and them working together. And I feel like Pete did actually bring up a compelling point. So I'm gonna have to actually go with the In Space team for this topic of debate right now.
That's tough. Congratulations, Pete.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
But I'll say
tough.
this though. I'll say it was tough. It was tough because
But it was
my mom like
close call, right? Close call.
Because
very
when it comes to pure combat, I promise you RPM beats In Space, but Pete did bring up amazing points.
Yeah, I'm saying like I feel like all those points kind of add up, and I feel like there's more to it than just combat.
Yeah,
because when you really think about it, like I'm pretty sure if anybody who's a diehard like Power Rangers aficionado will go through this and be like both sides are really strong, but then I think they'll lean more so on the In Space team more, like than the depending on what you're looking for. Like I'm talking about the overall picture. If we're talking about like combat, and like I feel like RPM is strong, but I feel like every other aspect in Space is better. So
right,
yeah. But so you schooled the fuck out of him in the first round, bro. You didn't need to do that to him, bro. Like, man said this guy's Cloud9.
I had to represent Dino Thunder for you.
You did. You freaking did.
I love Dino.
Dino Thunder's so good. Oh, I guess just to end off the whole Power Ranger talk. Yeah.
And Pika, let me just say this too. You remember the last season of Dino Thunder?
Could you remind me again? Because it's been like ages.
The high school prom.
Yes, yeah. What about it?
I just want to say that scene is the reason why I fucking passed the 8th grade, because I thought to myself, I want a prom moment like those guys do. And I wind up having that moment. I fucking aced my citywides, and that night I danced with 10 women that night.
Oh hell! Man, that's my guess.
Oh yeah, and wait a minute. I remember because you remember. No, guys. Are we still on the air or no?
Yeah, we are.
We're gonna be on the air for another hour plus.
Okay.
Yeah,
but remember, this was an 8th grade prom. Come on.
You
gotta give me some stuff. At the time that was cool.
Yeah, story time with Pete. Because we're old heads. Continue.
All I remember, guys, is that I did the Triple H thing. You remember with the Elimination Chamber when he won his 10th World Heavyweight title and he held up the fingers?
Yes.
I did that too. I remember I did the 10 too when I danced with 10 ladies that night.
Hell yeah. Give him what you call that.
Okay.
Hey, he gave the girls the Harlem Shake that night.
Guys, cut me some slack. It was 2005. It was 2005.
Yeah, that's like ages ago, man. Like no,
yeah,
bro. The people who are watching that, weren't even born.
That was almost 20 years ago. Come on, guys.
That was when Family Guy came out with the Jerry Stop Believing.
Don't stop. Hell yeah. But no, just to end off the Power Ranger debate. Like,
damn, I did not think I was gonna lose that 3rd round. Well done, Pete.
Pete came
well
strong.
done. Well done.
I thought like you're just gonna sweep Pete throughout the whole discussion, but I think like that 3rd point, like he really prepped on this the team aspect. And that was the deciding round too. Because if it was, he had a strong point in the 2nd, but it was just so stronger in that 3rd round. That was like, oh wow, like that's gonna be tough to beat. But no, just to end off the Power Rangers talk, what are I guess you can do no particular order. You can do your top 3. Like what's everyone's top 3 Power Ranger series is? And you can go Silver.
Pete?
Yes, Silver. You can go first.
Pete, since you won, you get to go first.
All right, Pete, you go then. Yeah.
Well,
take your victory lap.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound biased towards the first ever Mighty Morphin. I guess I'm not going to include that because everyone knows that's probably going to be the greatest one of
It's
all
good.
time.
It's
Everyone,
good.
yeah. So
Hell no.
for me, no particular order. Top three,
Yeah,
I
no
would
particular.
say Time Force, In Space, Ninja Storm. With an
Hell yeah.
honorable mention to Dino Thunder.
Hell yeah. All right, so you want me to go or you want me to go?
You go.
All right. For me, no particular order. Diamond Thunder, Jungle Fury, and Ninja Storm.
No particular order. RPM, Time Force, and SPD.
Yeah. And Wild Force is kind of like my honorable mention, I would say. I love Wild Force.
And In Space is my honorable mention.
Right. I'm sorry. Wait. What's your three again?
RPM, Time
Yeah.
Force, and SPD.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you put the SPD and RPM both in. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
You know what's another reason why I like Ninja Storm, Pika?
Why?
And this is gonna cause Silver to cause a lot of face palming right now because it features two of my all-time heroes, Katrina Brown and Katrina Devine, Myra and Capri.
Yes. The cast for Ninja Storm was good. From top to bottom was great. You know?
They were awesome. They were just awesome.
They were awesome. Okay.
Yep. I can't make fun of you too much because I know you interviewed them both.
No, I never interviewed Katrina Devine. Only Cat Brown.
Yeah, and he was gushing over them prior to the interviews, because
he fluffed them up real good.
Yeah, you can be honest, Pete. You were kind of crushing on them back in the day. I know. But yeah, so let's move on to topic number 2, which I feel like is since we talked about the Triple H moment, and also we didn't bring up the fact that you did the Triple H moment with the punch bowl when you went to your prom.
I never went to prom.
You never went to prom.
No.
Damn it.
I was one of the unpopular kids. Who the fuck was I gonna go with?
Bro, you can go with.
Wait, but you know what? Wait a minute. That makes 2 of us then because I was one of those kids as well. So I relate.
Yeah, I was a good jock / class clown type person, So.
I know.
Yeah. But
I was part of the nerds, and none of the nerds went.
Oh, okay. L nerds and shit. Not you, Zora, but them. What the fuck? They should have went.
Maybe one of them went with his girlfriend, but for the majority of us, we didn't have anyone to go with.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this: some proms,
And I was antisocial back then, so I wouldn't have liked going there anyway.
Fair enough. But I'll say this though: you're not missing much unless it's certain ones like high school proms and not college, but you know what I mean, the senior proms are always the best proms in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hey, Pika.
Yeah.
You know, how we talk about we're big fans of Palike?
Wait, say that name again?
Whatever is Pelke, whatever his name is, Palike.
Yeah, so who's he?
Were you fan, Pika? Are you familiar with any of these singers? Jonathan Young.
Yes.
I love it. Did you see his Arabian Nights? I love that song.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Jonathan Young is so good.
Pika, listen to that song and watch a compilation of Brock Lesnar giving F5s. That shit is power right there.
Wait, that is definitely power. I agree, Silver. That is definitely
Silver. To give you an example of what I'm talking about here, think of a really kick-ass metal version of the song Arabian Nights, and while that's playing and you hear Arabian Nights, that chorus, Brock Lesnar's giving everybody suplex cities and F5s.
Yeah, he's going, whoa, suplex city on Sunday.
Or if you go in his promo, let's do
this.
He's like, I conquered him, and I conquered him, and I'm gonna conquer you at SummerSlam.
Slam, and there's nothing you're gonna do about it. I'm Cowboy Brock.
I'm Cowboy Brock. I'm the beast and the best.
I'm the beast.
Paul, say something stupid.
Something stupid.
I think the best part I told Silver this too because my favorite Brock Lesnar of all-time Cowboy Brock is when he was telling the story of this one. Where he's like this. You know, let me tell you a story. Me and Roman, we went to Suplex City. We went to the carnival, and we took a ride on the F5, and nobody escapes on a ride on the F5.
Yeah, it's kind of like taking a Ric Flair to Space Mountain, bro. Like.
Yeah.
And he's like, "We're gonna crash the wedding, Roman. Your title's gonna marry my title, and it's gonna make a baby. The undisputed Universal title, and I get full custody."
Yeah, a little bit we know the baby was actually the world heavyweight.
No, that was the bastard child.
That was, dude.
That was the
child that nobody wanted. Yeah. Oh man.
I thought that was the red licorice universal title.
Yeah, but then he turned to blue licorice and it became cool.
No, that's the Pokemon red version and blue version title.
Yeah, blue was better.
And now it's yellow. It's the yellow version now.
It's the yellow, yeah. Hey there, Pikachu.
Gotta catch them all. Gotta collect them all.
Wait, we gotta save that for like a different podcast. Like we have like a Pokemon podcast. Like Pokemon podcast would be fantastic.
Pika, I do want to say before we move on to the next thing, though, I just want to say when Brock Lesnar responded to the what chance, when he goes, "Yep, Steve Austin will be there too." Steve Austin, he's an ass kicker like me, but he didn't kick my ass.
Oh yeah, let's ask Deborah.
No, because Austin refused the job to him.
I know.
It's not that Austin refused the job. He just didn't want to do it on a random episode of Raw. He wanted to do stuff for pay-per-view.
Yeah, I get that 100%.
He's right about that.
Yeah, at the stage he was in his career, like, why is that not a money match? Like, why are you doing that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, but Silver, he did refuse to lose to Coach, though, in 2005. That's why Batista took his spot.
Coach?
Who the fuck would want to lose to Coach?
Well, to be fair, it wasn't just Coach. It was Coach, Vader, and Goldust. 3-on-1.
Listen.
Who the fuck wants to lose to Vader and Goldust?
Obviously, they wanted Austin to.
And no disrespect to Goldust. He's awesome, but
yeah.
Who the fuck wants to lose to Vader and Coach?
No more joking around. No more joking around. But he did refuse to lose to Hogan though at Mania 18 though, because that was originally the match.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was a fact. But to be fair, Hogan also refused to lose to Austin.
Right.
Double-edged sword.
Right. And when you really think about it, at that stage, like, you know, Hogan like needed to actually put somebody over. That's why, like, when Rock won, like, you know, like
Hogan, that doesn't work for me, brother.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
Yep.
Man, nobody cares about John. What was he? John the Coachman. It was Copacabana. Like nobody. We don't care about the Copa.
That was great. No, what was even funnier was Drew McIntyre taking a picture with Jack Perry and then having Copacabana share that picture.
Oh no, let's not talk about that. No, let's save that for SummerSlam prediction because that's what we're about to do right now. Because I pulled up the card.
Let's just Pika, let's just say that Drew has such a elite choice of friends.
I'm not gonna lie, Drew went all in on that. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
He did. He doubled or nothing on that one.
He went all in, and he went all out.
He went all in, and he doubled or nothing.
Yeah, double or nothing, exactly.
Speaking of all in, double or nothing, Peter.
Yes.
Round 2 was going to be a little different. This time was me with no prep time versus you with prep time. Second time we do this, I'm taking all the fucking prep time in the world.
We're doing another one now?
Yeah, another debate in the future.
Either me versus you or me versus Chris.
Wait, are we doing one tonight? Or...
No.
Yeah,
future,
I was getting confused. I was like, I'm not prepared for another one, guys.
No. In the future.
Yeah,
you got your win today.
I only need one
win. Now I know I gotta come serious.
Yeah.
You gotta bring that in game, John. Bring your Rocky mode, man. Come on.
He's trying to get the soul out of you.
For somebody who didn't prep, I gave you a good fight.
I didn't prep. I told you I was winging this shit.
Yeah. No, he winged it on the third. But you winged it nice on the third one. I ain't gonna lie, like that.
Pika, I don't mean to interrupt, but I literally did what Eric Bischoff did on the first episode of TNA he appeared on. I took the production script and I just threw it right out and I started scratch.
Yeah, and I was just being Black Snow throughout the whole debate. And so was Chet Lemon.
But yeah, Pika, you read that screen. Read what I sent you. That screenplay.
Yeah, I will. But right now we're getting to the SummerSlam 2024 card.
Yeah,
and we're
let's
gonna do
Which I posted in the chat, by the way.
Let's
Oh,
do
you
it.
did? Okay, hell yeah. Let's
All
do it.
Or the match card, anyway. You
Our
guys
match
take
card.
points since I'm a little worried about switching my screen.
You actually did. Okay, I don't see it, but like I already have it pulled up on my end, so you know.
Silver.
Yeah.
Would you want to do it when I come back from the 2-week vacation?
Now I sent it.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I see it. Yeah, I see it.
I didn't press the send button because I wanted to switch back to my screen to make sure like we were still recording.
Yeah. No, you good.
Yeah, we got an hour and 35 minutes on the recording.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's get into it. So obviously it's gonna be held at Cleveland Brown Stadium, and it's gonna be in Cleveland, Ohio, which the cesspool of America. What?
Pika, before we start though, don't you find it a little bit odd that they're gonna be in Cleveland, Ohio, and the Miz is not even on the card?
Yeah, because they already have their golden boy, the hometown boy. Like they don't need they have another hometown Cleveland boy. They don't need Miz, surprisingly.
They have the guy whose drink tastes like shit.
Whoa. Actually, which flavors have you actually tried? That
I don't like Pika, I don't like coconut. That's probably why I don't like it.
No. But which one have you actually tried? Like,
I tried the red, white, and blue one.
That one is I want to say it's kind of like popsicle-ish. Like it's like a glacier.
I got like a.
You never wait. What would you say like the type of sport drinks flavors that you like?
I like what me personally?
Yeah, you personally, yeah. Because I'll make it.
I like iced tea, like fruit punch, like lemonade, like that type of thing.
So you would actually like the
Here's a basic bitch. Got it.
Hey, whoa. Okay. We're not judging people. We're not judging people.
Man.
I can say that because I'm still salty about losing to you, but it's cool.
Hey,
you put it back on the fight.
Hey, pull now you know
I always give respect where it's due.
Yeah. No, I was gonna just give a quick recommendation to Pete. Like blue raspberry would be one I think you'd like. The lime one would probably be another one that you would like. And also, I'm not gonna lie to you, I tried this one this summer and it kind of blew my mind. Strawberry banana. If you try strawberry banana, I'm telling you, might be like, I might hate, who makes that prime itself. Yeah.
Pika or Silver, have you ever seen that video of that guy? He goes viral on YouTube. He shows like he drinks like this everything from like this giant like wine glass. Like he takes every Mountain Dew flavor and he drinks it all.
Are you talking about like Badland Chugs, or are you talking about
that guy? Yeah, that dude.
Yeah. What about him?
What's your opinion on that dude?
I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I don't know how he has health compilations.
Right, because Silver, what you don't know is like he like everything. Like he will drink like let's say it would be 20 cans of Mountain Dew. He'll put it all in the blender and drink it all in one chug.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's like I might have to show you.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, and he does it in literally like 3 minutes.
How is he alive?
Yeah.
I don't know.
When you see how he looks, and I'm not judging anybody, you would be surprised. You'd be like he looks like like exactly like somebody that would he's in the heavy set. Like
is he bigger than a house?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah. He might give Kayla a run for her money.
Let me just put it this way, Silver. He makes Fat Albert look like regular Albert.
Yeah. But I'll say this though.
So that name changed to Albert.
I'll say this though. The mighty burps that he has after he does that shit is iconic. Like the burps.
Sure.
Like that. But the reason I brought that up, Pika, is because he did a video where he drank all the primes though.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And there's one prime I always wanted to try, but he said it was a very rare, hard to find prime, and it was like one that served at a baseball game, I think at Wrigley Stadium or something.
Okay. How does it look? Like what color?
It was striped. It was like baseball stripes.
Baseball stripes. Yeah, the only striped one I can really think is the red, white, and blue one, but I can't really think about any other.
It was like the thin. It was like a can that had like the thin stripes you would find like on a baseball uniform.
Yeah. Okay, I'll look into it, but like my recommendations, I'm not gonna lie, the blue raspberry, the strawberry banana, and the lime. You try those, and you're gonna be like, oh, because the thing is, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like it reminds me of Gatorade, but it's just different. Like if you're a fan of Gatorade and Powerade growing up, then yeah, like
I agree.
it's
Well,
Prime is kind of like the successor to that, I guess. But
with that being said,
yeah, SummerSlam. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Cleveland Brown Stadium. It's gonna be on August 3rd, 2024, and from what I'm looking at right now, it looks like 7 matches on this card, which is kind of a surprise, but not a surprise at the same time. Because if you guys known like this new Triple H era, like it's usually just like 4 or 5 matches, every card. But knowing this is one of the big 4 or 5 events of the year, they're gonna show out. So I can only imagine there's gonna be probably more matches than these 7 matches. But
And not to mention, almost every title is up for grabs.
yeah,
right.
This is what I like about the Triple H era too, guys, is that we get like short matches, but like literally every match is a heavyweight title match. We don't got like
Right,
14,
no filler.
no 14 horse shit filler matches.
Right. There's no bathroom breaks.
Except for
like,
one, but at least this time the filler has a story.
I would
Yeah.
imagine, yes.
And I only call it filler because it's not a title match. Not that it's not important, but
Right.
Before we get
before Cloud jumps down my throat because one of the people involved.
Before we do start, though, I think we all could agree. I think all 3 of us are going to be unanimous with one prediction, and we all know one of these matches. We know the prediction, the outcome of that match, because it's so predictable.
Right. I would imagine so. But I'm looking at this and I'm like thinking in my mind, I'm like, do we go in a sense of like what we think the card order is going to be, or like least to greatest, or we think is going to be like the weakest match of the card or the most important match of the card, or do we go by card order? Like, what do you guys? Because I think I know what's opening the show, but I don't know if you guys want to start with that.
What do you think is opening the show?
I personally think the World Heavyweight Championship match is opening the show.
Might as well start with that then.
Yeah, and it's first on the list, so we might as well talk about that. So we have, the champion, Damian Priest, Mr. Senior Money in the Bank to El Champion, and he's facing off with the King of the Ring winner of 2024, which granted him the opportunity to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. The Ring, actually, or is it a King General? The Ring King General, whatever his nickname is. As far as I know, what I know is about
the Ring of King General Gunta.
Yeah. I think they're calling him the King General. I think, which makes sense.
Probably.
But yeah, what I noticed about like this iteration of the King of the Ring is like they've done it like solid in the sense of like, okay, now it's not just something where it's like, oh, I'm King of the Ring, I'm Queen of the Ring. Like there's actually a prize that's on the line, so there's actually more of an incentive.
Makes it a lot better, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like in that aspect, they've been handling it like top notch. But in the other aspect, I'm really thinking about it. It's like they're not really like actually kings and queens. They're not really coming out with the crowns and this and that. It's just mostly like a name tag more so than a whole presentation was. And I'm just curious, like, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys actually like the whole like the wrestlers cosplaying as the kings and queens, or do you actually like the new Triple H format where it's just just the title?
It made sense when it was a character like Xavier Woods doing it because like he's a comedy character, but for the more serious people like Gunther, it makes no sense.
So like the whole King Sheamus.
I'm glad he's not doing it.
Yeah, like when Brock Lesnar won it, it did make sense.
No, but I'm saying like Gunther doesn't fall in the same category as King Sheamus or King Barrett or King.
I think Gunther falls in the same categories like guys like Brock Lesnar, Steve Austin, and one that didn't embrace the crown. Like Sheamus embraced the crown, Booker T embraced the crown. Like I think even like Billy Gunn didn't embrace the crown.
Oh, you just mentioned my favorite king, Billy Gunn, yeah.
But like then you got people that did embrace the crown, like Kurt Angle embraced the crown, and then you got the King of Awesomeness, Edge.
Yeah. But who did it better than King Booker?
No, King Booker is always gonna be my favorite king.
Hell yeah, he did it the best. I ain't gonna lie.
King Booker. King Booker.
Oh,
Kiss my royal feet.
ring.
You guys remember when he goes, I don't speak in voice. He's like, oh hell no, I just got jacked. Hell no, Queen, fetch me my wallet.
Yeah, tell me he did not just say that.
Tell me you did not just say that.
Yep. All right, so who wants to go first on this? Because I have an idea.
Silver,
Yeah.
you go first. You can go first.
Oh, so okay. Floor is yours.
So, Damian Priest versus Gunta.
Yes.
In
If
all
you want, I can explain the story. But I feel like you understand what the story is for this match.
in all senses of the word, this should probably be one of the greatest curb stomps in sports entertainment history. But
Oh no.
I'm just afraid that it's a little too soon from Gunther losing the IC title to immediately be given another belt. So I worry that they're going to decide to have Damian retain and have Gunther win it later on down the line, maybe at Mania or the Royal Rumble instead of SummerSlam. But in a perfect world, Gunther wins in like 5-6 minutes.
And that's your prediction?
My prediction is, unfortunately, Damian Priest retains
Okay.
due to Judgment Day interference.
Okay. All right. So let me, because clearly you don't understand what the story for this match is. If you're thinking like, in a perfect world, what the situation is, and obviously, I guess if you're talking about like a squash in the sense of to benefit Gunther, then I guess you're not really giving Damian, his side of the, the fight, which I'm gonna explain what the story.
Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, Damian's a good champion. But with
No,
how
not
dominant
really.
Gunther
Yeah.
was for like years now.
Okay, so let me explain the story, obviously, for this, because I feel like you understand somewhat of the story, but then like there's like bits and pieces that you might not know because you told me yourself you don't follow the product as much as you did, which I've been
Correct.
Pete, I've been telling him. I'm like, watch the Triple H era. This does not seem like anything of the previous years. Like I'm actually excited to watch Raw. I'm actually excited to watch SmackDown. I actually like the direction that they're using. I don't feel like anybody's being buried. Like imagine that. Like that's another thing too. You don't hear that word being used anymore. Like, oh, this person's being buried. This person being. It's because everybody is getting that creative freedom that they need, or that spotlight. And if there is people that aren't, shining in this era, they're trying to like look for reasons to kind of be like, okay, let me actually tweak my character in this direction. Which is the whole like White Six stuff. Like that was kind of like a mind blowing type of moment because it's like you brought all these individuals to. You brought all these individuals.
Which I guarantee you, Pika, that if Vince was running creative, that the Wide Six wouldn't they would be the next Retribution if Vince wasn't creative.
Yeah, it would be even worse than Retribution.
Yeah,
actually.
I agree.
Way worse.
Because Retribution actually did have a chance if Vince was not in creative. That actually had potential.
No, but the thing about even like how they debuted, like it was kind of cool because they debuted in an era where nobody was really watching anything, and it's like kind of like a quiet. Like it was what was it? The Performance Center, and they were like destroying everything in the Performance Center. Like they were like basically giving like Nexus vibes. It's just they didn't have the Nexus aura, or they were missing the certain substance. But with the story of Damian Priest and Gunther is ever since Damian Priest cashed in that Money in the Bank and became World Heavyweight Champion, he wanted to kind of elevate that title in the sense of it being like, hey, you know what? Like, this is my title. I'm representing this title for the Judgment Day. I want to do things this way, and I want to break out in the sense of actually like honoring what the legacy of the title is. But then when you look at all his matches, every time he, whether it was his match at Backlash against Jey Uso, he had a phenomenal match with Jey Uso. But what the result was basically, Judgment Day interfering, as he mentioned, like, that could potentially happen in this one, and then like, helping Damian win the title. Then you look at Clash of the Castle, and with all intents and purposes, that was Drew McIntyre's night to win the title. But instead of Judgment Day appearing, which I think I don't know if they did or did not. I'm not too sure, but I know like what cost McIntyre ultimately was Punk showing up with the whole like referee attire and everything, which will lead to another match on the card later on. And then it just comes down to like people's impressions of Damian being like, oh, like is he even really fit to like actually be world champion? He's kind of like he got the look, he got the presence, he got this and that. But then when you look at all the results of his matches, he's basically just
like Roman.
he's basically exactly just like Roman. But the difference between Roman and Damien is Roman intentionally does that because he will do whatever it takes. He's the heel type of champion that will do whatever it takes to retain, and he will ask his family and that. With Damien, he doesn't want Judgment Day to interfere. He wants to shine, on his own. And then like it got to a point where like like the pressure got to his head, which led to the Money in the Bank match, which I back by the way. That was a phenomenal match with Seth and what do we call it, and Damian Priest. But the thing was, like, ultimately the same thing happened too, where like McIntyre came in, tried to cash in, Punk said fuck your cash in, and just like literally like ruined everything, and ultimately gave Damian the win again too. But like leading into that match, even Seth got it out of him. He's like, oh, like you really think like I need the Judgment Day to always help me win this title? Like I don't need Judgment Day. Judgment Day needs me and this title. And it's like it showed like kind of like a change of ref, a change of like a dynamic in the faction where it's like they're losing faith in what Damien is standing for, and Damien is kind of losing faith in like like being a member of Judgment Day. Like they want like him and Roman like win by any means necessary. But if Damien is, he's like I want to actually be that fighting champion. I want to be this and that. So this match right here with Gunther, what you don't understand, Silver, is like Damien's kind of like make it or break it. He can't be dropped out in 6 seconds. And realistically, the way he's been booked, it's not even realistic that he will like lose in 6 seconds or in 6 minutes and that because he showed how resilient he was. He kicked out of the Claymore. He kicked out of the curb.
You could have made the same argument about Kofi, but go on.
And what instance are we talking about for Kofi?
Was how he was booked his entire run and then ran into the brick wall that is Brock. Gunther's another brick wall.
But you're just see this is where you kind of like lose, man. Like we always have this like back and forth because it's like you're making comparisons that just like in theory like look like makes sense in your mind, but it doesn't really make any sense. Are we really saying that Gunther is the Brock Lesnar currently of WWE? Because everything is no, and not in the sense of intimidation, not in the sense of like he wins. I'm talking about like his match quality. Does he squash people in 10 minutes?
Like his intenseness, right?
Yeah, like his match does Gunther matches. Name me one squash match that Gunther was in his whole run in WWE so far in the main roster. So
no, he doesn't have squash matches.
So why would you make that example of Kofi and Brock? Because see how that doesn't make any sense. They're both treated the same as high caliber talent, but like they like one's actually a wrestler that puts like the 10 to 15 to 20 to 30 minutes into the ring with anybody that he faces. Throughout this whole like 66 day wearing I think he hasn't had one IC match squash, nor was it bad. He's been proven that he's just a workhorse guy.
True.
So even with a world title match, and even if it's somebody Damien that's been booked like in a sense of like he's kind of weak because he's being helped with, they're gonna have a phenomenal match. That shit's gonna go 15 minutes instead of 20 minutes plus.
True.
And they're gonna make Damien look good. Whether he's gonna win, whether he's gonna lose. So that's basically like the story preface of the Damien and Gunther match. With that being, I don't see Judgment Day interfering in this. Only for the fact that I think Damien is gonna really come in and be very stern about it, being like, I don't want y'all to come out. I don't want no interference. I want to prove to the world. I want to be that guy to kind of be like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm entering this, kind of like in the sense of like, this is my funeral, but I'm going to come up, like, and rise to the top, and I'm going to arise and, and then beat Gunther and like defy expectations. And I think that's legitimately what they're going to do with Damien. Because what I see at the same time, it's like he could win, but then at the same time, it could be something where there could be like a moral conflict where it's like, Judgment Day won't be at ringside, but they might be like, like I don't know, like they might do like maybe a run in from like the crowd or whatever, not make it to ringside or maybe watch from the crowd or something like that. There's gonna be some type of distracting moment. Because ultimately, I hate to say it, I think there's gonna be like a 20 plus, even close to like a 25-minute match. But Gunther is winning this.
You're
saying Gunther is winning this. As much as I want Damien winning this, is you look at the next pay-per-view. That's what I factored. I factored into way I'm almost done. The next pay-per-view is Bash in Berlin. Gunther's entering that show with the world title. So with that being said, Gunther's my pick. So I'm done. You can go, Pete. Yeah.
I think Damien. I don't want Damien to retain, but I think he's going to retain because I think, like what Silver said, eventually we're going to get Gunther as World Heavyweight Champion because we're eventually going to get Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov for the World Heavyweight title. We're eventually going to get that match.
Right. But that's a Mania match.
Yeah, but I do want to for the next match. So can I start that one because I have a theory and I think you guys are gonna
Yeah.
agree with me on this one.
Yeah, because we're going in order, right? Like
Yeah,
that's what you guys. Okay, bet. All right. So what's the second match on the card?
Bailey versus Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship. Now tell me if you gentlemen actually agree with this theory that I'm about to say. I really think that Nia Jax is gonna win it. However, I think Tiffy is going to cash in on Nia Jax. Like somehow it's gonna lead to some kind of schmoz, whether Bailey knocks down Jax or Jax gets knocked down somehow, and then Tiffy betrays Nia and then cashes in on her. Thus, Tiffy time becomes Tiffy champion.
So is that your prediction?
My
You think?
prediction is, yeah,
Mhm.
Jack's winning, but Tiffy cashing in immediately.
All right, Silver. I want you to go next. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. I'll be back. But Silver, reiterate what you say about this next match right here, because this is my personal bathroom break.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. All right, I'll be back. Silver, you explain your side.
Okay, so first off, any outcome that isn't Nia Jax winning, I'm okay with.
Yeah, that's why I
Because
said Tiffy.
I don't know why she was put in this match, why she won Queen of the Ring.
John, how do
Uh,
you, Silver? How do you not see that?
huh?
How do you not see it? Because cousin Dwayne probably gave her that opportunity.
I'm talking strictly from a talent in the ring standpoint. Like
Okay,
she should not be, realistically speaking, like outside of booking wanting it to happen. Like there's no reason for her to win King of the Ring over any of the other people that were in that tournament.
yeah, because how is injured people? How are you rewarding people by giving them a title match after they injure people?
Exactly. Yeah, that's another thing. But yes, other than like you said, TKO board being TKO board.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately. But yeah, but
best case scenario, Bailey just retains and we move on. But
that's what I want. I want Bailey to retain because I really don't want Jax to win.
I don't want Jax to win either. And if she does win, then I agree with you. Have Tiffany cash in right then and there because I don't want to see Nia Jax walking around as champion.
Yeah, but because who's gaining from this though? Bailey's not gaining from this. Nia is, Nia's champion's not doing anything. That's gonna actually make ratings go down. Tiffany Stratton, I think would be the only choice to go in this situation. She's actually the choice by default in this match.
Well, I mean, it's also a matter of are they doing this to give Natty, I mean, not Natty, Nia, her long-awaited, flowers with a run with the belt,
But Silver,
just because she's been in the company for a long time.
She already had a run with the title in 2018. It was the Raw Women's title, but still, it was a run.
Yeah, and I think also I
And
stand by
that's how
saying that.
forgettable she is because I forgot that even happened.
Yeah, I also just to remember this too. Like they use this material for the promo package. That Bailey talked about like how Nia injured her when she was the champion too. So like there's like history amongst them like around 2017. I think it was when Bailey was making her Raw debut. Like Nia just like and took her out for like a while. I think she had the whole like broken arm thing. I believe. I think that was like Nia's fault or something.
Something like that.
So basically, the whole premise and why like the compelling story in this whole case is like Bailey just berating and just saying like Nia, you just you're just the same old Nia. You still can't wrestle worth a shit, and you still injure people, and you're clumsy as hell, and you fall on your ass, and my whole this and my whole that, and like that's all not gonna be enough to beat me, basically. And I don't know what you said, Silver. Like, did you say your
I
prediction?
said best case scenario, Bailey just retains and moves on.
Mm.
Worst case scenario is Nia Jax wins and there is no cash in. But if Nia
Yeah.
Jax wins, then I agree with Pete. I want Tiffany to cash in, just because there is
All right.
no scenario where I
Yeah.
would want to see Nia Jax walk out with that belt.
All
Likewise.
right, but question though. So what are you going with though? Because you mentioned all these scenarios, but what's your actual prediction?
Bailey retains.
Bailey retains. Okay. So for me, I think you and I share the same sentiment. I don't see Nia winning that title. I feel like they're building her up, obviously, to be that force in that division, and I feel like Bayley that Sami Zayn's on, in the sense of like being that champion that like won the title at Mania, and it's just gonna have like a good run. I feel like that's one thing I think we all acknowledge in this Triple H regiment, is that everybody that's credible enough to actually be a good champion is gonna have a long reign.
Yeah.
If anything, at the soonest I see Bayley lose that title would be Survivor Series. Realistically speaking, I don't see her losing that. But let me wait. Were you gonna ask something, Pete? Because I was gonna.
I had another idea. Tell me if you guys think this would be another scenario they would go with though. Like if Bayley does retain though, like have Bayley retain, but then Nia attack her after the match, and then Tiffy cashes in on Bayley, which would lead to a program between Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton.
I feel like that they're gonna build on that alliance for a little bit, because I feel like it's something that they kind of like bum rushed it kind of early a little bit right now. So I feel like they're gonna have some time to grow with that, like how they're doing with Chelsea and Piper. I think it's the same thing that they're trying to do with Tiffany and Nia. They're trying to make like a unit for like a little bit, but they're not gonna last as long as Piper and Chelsea though. They're gonna have like a fall. Yeah.
I miss Samantha Irvin doing Chelsea Green's introduction.
Yeah, but it's in her theme song now.
Yeah. Chelsea Green.
Did you? I was there live, by the way, when because when they do those press conferences, for these PLEs. So I was there, and then like Michael Cole attempted that Chelsea. That shit broke my ears, bro.
Chelsea Green.
If I were to play somewhere, you're gonna be like, "That's like the worst Chelsea Green ever heard in your life." I was like, "No way, he attempted it. He attempted it and said exactly how Samantha lost my shit." I was like, "No fuck way he said that shit." But okay, to add on to your idea, so this is the planned scenario that everything kind of unfolding. I see, obviously Nia just being the aggressor throughout the match. We're working on every body part. Like Bayley's gonna be like maybe like wrestling the match, with a bum arm, bum leg, whatever this and that. Bayley's gonna somehow like do the impossible and like retain, like how she retained over like Piper, like at Clash of the Castle. And I think that's what's gonna open the opportunity for like Tiffany to cash in. But it's gonna be those situations where she does like like I'm gonna cash in, but am I gonna really do it, type of thing? But then it's like, I'm gonna do it, and just when she's about to do it, I think she gets interrupted by somebody, and the cash in doesn't go through. And I hate to say it, and I know like very polarizing individual, but like it is time for her to be back because it just makes sense. And I'm not gonna lie, I do want to see that match again because they had good chemistry in the past, and I do want to see that again. I think we're gonna. I think we're gonna see the return of Charlotte Flair for the women's division. Whether you like it or not.
Baby face or heel?
She's gonna be a tweener.
Okay.
It's gonna be a tweener moment. Yeah. But the thing is, I feel like maybe they'll do something along the lines where they will turn her heel fully, but she's gonna come back as a tweener, and I think she's gonna prevent Tiffany's cash in.
She sucks. The only babyface though.
Yeah. I don't like her as babyface, and it makes sense if they're gonna go like Bayley full out babyface right now. I feel like it only makes sense to make Charlotte the heel that she is because she thrives in that role. But the main reason why I'm saying put Charlotte in the mix right now is like I don't want Tiffany cashing in this early. I want her to actually hold the briefcase a little bit. Like I want her to kind of have like that Dolph type of or that Carmella type of money back, only for the fact they wasted the men's briefcase. I want that briefcase to at least go into next year. So I don't see her cashing. So my prediction is Bayley retains, and we get Charlotte Flair's return. For the save, by the way. Oh, by the way, for the save, because like it's gonna be like Tiffy and Nia are gonna like boil on the hell out of Bayley, and then like basically injuring her to like kind of prep Tiffany to cash in when Tiffany's about to cash in, and giving the briefcase to the referee, the battered briefcase that is, because the briefcase unless she gets a new briefcase, because apparently I don't know if y'all know the briefcase got like all messed up because Bayley like destroyed the hell out of that briefcase, but. That's when Charlotte makes a save, basically. Makes a return for SummerSlam. So, yeah, that's my prediction. So, Silver, what's the third match? Actually, before we get to the third match, what's your thoughts? Like, do you actually see that happening, or no?
Can I see it happening? Yes. Do I want Charlotte back? Not yet.
Yeah. What about you, Pete?
Unfortunately, we're gonna see that happen. I don't want to see Charlotte back. I really don't want to see her
Yeah,
her daddy's
yeah.
record. I mean, she's doing a great job beating her daddy's record in merits.
But be honest, they slowed it down for a little bit though, because she's
They did.
Yeah,
yeah,
because she's relatively close to
Mm.
breaking it. They have to slow it down now.
Mm. Okay, let me put it like this: if they want to break it, they could have broken it already. I think they just chose to slow it down right now, just to be different. I think it maybe even something in Charlotte that's being like, oh, you know what, like let's some other than women shine in the division. Because I don't think Charlotte is like selfish. I think the reason why she's getting all these opportunities is that number one, she's really good on the mic, she's really good in the ring, and she has the name. WWE can and promote her and then all these type of ways because she's the ideal women's wrestler. But then now she's realized like we got Bianca, we got Rhea, we got all these like other like top women that that can fill in the shoes.
Yeah,
Let me
exactly.
actually
So
slow
now
down.
she can be used to put them over instead of
Yeah,
winning the belt.
but they're not the champion right now. Bailey is, so that's what I'm saying. Like it would make sense for Charlotte to
Yeah,
kind
so
of
if they bring her back, bring her back to put Bailey over instead of giving her the belt again.
But she's done that before though. Is one thing. Now it's going to be the other way around. Because they beat each other multiple times, but I'm saying the last instance that they faced off each other, I think Bailey did beat her, and Charlotte never.
Pika, you probably know this better than me though, but is MVP still with the company?
Yes,
He is? Okay.
yes. But the thing is, MVP and Bobby Lashley are both on their contracts are about to expire, so if they don't renew, then they'll be free agents.
Imagine if they did the Hurt Business in AEW.
I think that's what they're gonna do because Shelton is on, he's on free agency, and obviously both their contracts are gonna expire the same way. And then if I guess if AEW grabs them and then pairs them off maybe with Swerve or somebody or Leo Rush. Leo Rush would actually be kind of cool.
But Pika, with that being said, are you actually surprised with the way Triple H has booked Bobby Lashley and MVP? Like they're booking, like Triple H's booking of those guys?
Well, MVP was used just for a manager role. Like he wasn't a competitor at all in the Triple H era. So like I can't really.
Yeah, but when Vince was in power, MVP was on TV like every week. Like when Triple H took power, you barely even saw MVP.
I think what it is conflict with talent in the sense of like look at the talent that he's putting on TV right now. Are you guys MVP over the Bloodline stuff, the Judgment Day stuff?
They
or
really
anything like Because don't even get me wrong about this, and I know you guys are big fans of this, but like even MVP, he's kind of lower on the spectrum, even than him on the spectrum. Because at least with the Final Testament, you got like Paul Ellering, you got like Scarlett, you got like AOP, so it's like he's kind of bottom of the barrel. It's like you utilize him for what cause, and how they were utilizing was kind of stupid too, because they used him for like the mouthpiece for Omos. Like Omos wasn't really doing anything, you know what I mean? So, and also Omos is a special attraction. Like you're only using him for like the big events. So like that MVP like kind of in Triple H's eyes is like if I put him on TV, like how am I gonna utilize him? Like as another like manager for who? For whom, So
yeah.
And go on.
Pika, if that's the case, why not just reunite the Hurt Business? Just have MVP go with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits.
Because they got to make it make sense. Like, why would MVP? Because you remember, like, the storyline, like MVP turned on Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, but they did. Remember when they teased us where they had Bobby Lashley and MVP in the back, like after they had the thing where, like, maybe months later they teased like them in the back, and then they like did like this angle.
If anything, what they needed to do was somehow like get MVP back on television and maybe like do his apologies or whatever, and then like join with the Street Profits and MVP. I mean, and Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Lashley has aligned himself with the Street Profits. They were like a group. So
I have a funny MVP things you guys want to hear before we get to the next match though, because the next match I think we all know what's gonna happen.
What?
There was a report saying that like how Jericho has his cruises.
Yes. Oh yeah, Silver knows about that.
Oh, Silver and Pico, you know what happened on that cruise?
What happened?
They say that the reports that on the 2020 Jericho cruise, the first one, that MVP was on that cruise and he got into an altercation with Jericho.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Which led to MVP knocking Jericho out.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
And then 2 years later,
That's a piece of shit. But go on.
Yeah.
We know why Silver doesn't like Jericho. We all know that.
Yeah, we know why. Yeah, but I'll say this though, Silver not Silver. Jericho has some balls, like knowing like the people that he faces, because he had a backstage brawl with Brock and Goldberg. So this guy does not care. He's a Hall of Fame crash out. Like he apparently he won.
Pika.
He won.
Silver likes Chris Jericho as much as Jim Cornette likes Vince Russo.
I thought you said Jim Cornette like an AEW, because I would have been like.
Don't get me wrong, Pete. As a wrestler, Jericho's one of the top 10 best.
Yeah. He doesn't like
as a person. He couldn't even get a star on Yelp. Yeah.
Would you say?
And primarily, it's big. Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and it's primarily because of like what Jericho and his cronies did to like Silver's channel, basically,
almost
making him delete. Yeah. Hey, no, they did damage because like the videos that we did, like we put time and effort into.
The 2 strikes went away.
No, I know, but I'm saying that the two or three, what you call it, the
2 or 3 pieces of NCAA history are gone. Yeah,
are gone because he had to delete them, because of that. Yeah. So it's like, so I can understand resentment, so because that is a part of history. But what was I gonna say?
Third match.
Yeah, no, I was gonna mention more about the Lashley thing. So basically, Lashley, it's I think it's not really Triple H's fault, because I think Triple H had a lot of things planned for Lashley, but like a lot of plans fell through, and I think what sucked even more was the whole his build up for like 2023, because he was supposed to face Bray at WrestleMania, but exactly. So you can't even really say like, oh, like Triple H is thinking like he wanted to use the Lead but then like that happened, and then what do you do afterwards? Because with Triple H, I think you notice this, and even Silver notices, is like it's all about like long-term storytelling. So if you didn't have a long-term storyline planned for Bobby Lashley, why utilize him on TV? Why have him on TV for the sake of just being on TV? So it's like I can kind of understand both sides in the sense of like, he never utilized Lashley to his full potential, but at the same time, it's like what could have been, like, because like a lot of plans had fell through, and it's kind of unfortunate, but so what's the third match?
Third match.
Yeah.
Sticking with the train of title matches.
Yeah.
For the United States Championship.
Oh.
Mr. Prime versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
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 Are we seeing a new United States champion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bet your ass. Yeah. Yeah. Duh. Dummy. Yeah. Dummy. Oh my.
Is it going to be longer than a 10-minute match? Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking 15 minutes on that shit. 15 minutes minimum. Ain't gonna lie.
Let me talk to you.
Does it deserve to be 15 minutes? Nah.
Yeah. And by the way, Silver, that is not an insult. That is just a fact of life.
Yeah.
No, man.
Yeah. Everybody raise your hand if you think, LA Knight's gonna win this match. Yeah. Let's see, sorry.
While you were out there saying suffering succotash, I was out there telling everybody whose game this was. Whose game this is. Not yet, folks.
Oh boy. But yeah, I see this like being one of the better matches, if not maybe match of the night. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Raise your hand if you think.
It took me a while to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
Pika, did you die also laughing when Miz imitated LA Knight? Yeah.
I even had funnier laugh when LA Knight invaded Logan's home and he took a shit in his pool. Because that happens over that ass.
I really want to see his brother get knocked out by Mike Tyson. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, he is.
I want to see that.
I remember that fight was canceled though.
It's happening. No. It's happening later. They just
You mean we're gonna get Homer Simpson versus Drederick Tatum?
No, we're gonna get
Homer
Peter Griffin
Simpson?
versus
I'm making a joke.
Oh.
You don't remember that episode, Silver? The boxing episode?
No, the reason why I got confused is because I know there's a Peter Griffin lookalike, and we saw him. I thought there was somebody actually walking around looking like Homer Simpson.
No. But anyways, no. It's most closely gonna be like Peter Griffin versus the big chicken. You know, Ellie Knight. Yeah. Ellie Knight's the chicken. I mean, Ellie's not the chicken. He's Peter.
So we're all in unison. We're all in unison that LA Knight's walking out with the gold.
Yeah. There's no
that's
further.
the best case scenario.
Right.
So
you can put your hands down.
I personally want to see that. Claude, you correct me if I'm wrong as always, but hasn't Logan held the belt like 200 plus days with barely any defenses?
Oh yeah. You want to know how many defenses he had in this whole 240 plus ring?
4.
Cut that in half, Silva.
Yeah, I was worried. I was afraid of that.
Yeah, he's only had 2 defenses. Yeah.
The next match, guys, I want to talk about, and this match is actually one of 2 matches I'm actually looking forward to watching on the card, and that is CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth freaking Rollins as special guest referee.
We gotta save the main event for last.
That's not the main event. I thought Cody was the main event.
That's 100% the main event.
Okay, we could. Guys. Can I continue later, guys? Because my mom, I have to take a phone call.
Oh, okay. So
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So first of all,
just because of that, I'm glad you told me to record.
Yep.
Well done, Claude. Good foresight. Good foresight.
It's not even a slide on Pete, but I just had a feeling something like that was gonna happen with pizza. So I'm like, hell, even I could have done it, but I'm like, I'm registered because you're gonna upload it.
Yeah, I could have done it too.
Yeah. All right. So you can stop raising your hand now because we got your vote of confidence. We know who. even though so I heart that sentiment. Oh man. Anyways, I think since we talked about one. The world may never know. Anyway, so since we talked about one mid-card title, let's talk about another mid-card title. We have the IC title match. The Valiant, Resistant, Renaissance Maker, Game Changer, the man who ended Gunther's legendary IC title reign, Mr. Samuel L. Zane, bro.
Don't you put no L's in his name?
The L stands for luscious. Because he got some luscious locks on him.
He's also got some luscious lips on his ass from you.
the greatest modern day Canadian wrestler of all time. Some would say he would probably go toe to toe in with Bret Hart in his prime and still win. That's who Sami Zayn.
With all due respect to Sami Zayn, no.
Okay, you say no. Look at the feet.
But would it be a hell of a match? Yes.
No. The thing is, look at the feats and look at the facts, and tell me how he wouldn't actually beat Bret Hart in his prime. Look at the I'm telling you, look at the feats and compare the feats. It's a lot closer than you think, is what I'm trying to say. And I think what gives Sami more of a boost than anything else is look at the people that Sami beat, and if you put that the same people in that era that Bret was wrestling, could have Bret actually beat them? Case in point, let's use his biggest achievement this year, being Gunther. Would Bret Hart be able to beat Gunther? To be honest,
Bret Hart beat Yokozuna.
Yeah, you compare Yokozuna to Gunther. Good job, Silver. You just made yourself look like a dumbass in front of national heroes. maybe not national heavyweight, but in the YouTube boys.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Yokozuna is probably the biggest
Right.
person that Bret Hart beat.
Right, but then who's Yokozuna?
That could equate size wise to a Gunther.
Yeah, but who's Yokozuna in comparison to everything else, not just size, every aspect? Like, who's Yokozuna to Gunther?
The Yokozuna is a legendary wrestler whose life and
I'm not taking that.
Career got cut short.
I'm not taking that away from him. What I'm trying to say is like, look at the feats and look at the heights that Gunther's reached in WWE. He's well surpassed, Yoko when it comes to.
I agree, but there's literally no other big man comparison you could make with Bret Hart.
Let me put it like this. So,
or at least with my memory of Bret Hart matches, because I'm not as well versed with Bret Hart as you are, obviously.
No, I know, and like the way I'm looking at it right now,
I'm going off a limited library.
No, but with that limited library, like the example that you're making, I'm just like putting some clarity to it. Like you understand that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, no. Okay, let's ask Pete. So you ask the question. Or do what you want to do.
Who's winning in a match with both of them in their prime? Sami Zayn or Bret Hart?
And weigh both sides. Weigh both sides, Pete, in the sense of like all the feats that Bret has done and all the feats that.
Does promo couldn't count or no?
No, just
pure in ring.
Pure in ring. Okay. Well, when it comes to like Bret Hart, he's more of like a submission specialist. Like and Sammy to an extent is too, but Sammy also has like his signature moves and like is it a hell of a kick?
Hell of a kick. Yeah. Hell of a kick.
He has that as signature move, and he has
boots on the bomb.
Yeah. So he's not really much of a submission specialist, but he's more of like an aerial, like high flyer and an aerial. So I would give it to more Sammy because he's more multi-versatile in that aspect with ranges.
One question to you, like, and only this stat: who's more resilient to you, Sammy or Bret?
I would say Bret would be more resilient than Sammy.
Oh, okay. But then what gives like Sammy the edge because of the versatility of his moveset?
Just the fact that Bret is more like of a submission specialist and a grappler. He's like a standard like wrestler. Where Sammy, he can run the ranges where he can be grappling, aerial, submission. He runs the whole gamut.
Okay, and what was you would say Bret Hart's like greatest feat like back in his run?
Bret Hart's greatest feat was the fact that he was able to perform any kind of maneuver and just execute it perfectly, whether it was like a Boston Crab, a full crab, a half Nelson,
seamlessly. Oh my god, I used to love when he used the second rope elbow drop. Like he would hit that shit on the money.
Like there's certain guys that do this correctly. Like for instance,
right.
Like Eddie Guerrero does a great frog splash, and so does RVD. Chavo's frog splash sucks. Ray frog splash sucks.
Hornswoggle.
Huh?
Hornswoggle.
Hornswoggle's tadpole splash sucks.
All right, Pete. Let me ask you a question then, since this is also part of what.
Yeah, it was a part of the debate.
Cloud we're debating. Who would you say is Bret Hart's greatest victory against a wrestler that compares to Gunther?
Yeah,
that compares to Gunther.
Yeah,
good question.
Because I said Yokozuna, and Cloud kind of ripped me to shreds. Partly because I have a limited library of Bret Hart's.
I have a wrestler that's like that, but not personality wise. But he does match up to the intensity and style of Gunther.
Who?
And that would be. Can we count dead people?
Oh, I know who you're about to say. Like, because it just dawned to me the moment, like the way Silver said that. I'm like, oh, there was one person actually that you could actually potentially put on Gunther's level.
This has nothing to do with his name, but Kurt Hennig.
Oh, Kurt Hennig.
Mr. Perfect. I think Mr. Perfect could give Bret Hart a run for his money.
Oh shit! Okay. No. We're talking. We're talking
about people that Bret Hart has actually beaten.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's actually beaten Kurt Hennig.
No, we're not. Yeah, he beat Kurt. But I think what Silver's trying to say is like, how does Kurt Hennig match up to Gunther? Like, could Kurt beat Gunther or no?
I mean, he did fight Brock Lesnar on a plane, and Brock Lesnar with Gunther. You said it yourself, Pika. Brock Lesnar and Gunther are equivalents.
Yeah. No, I said in the sense of intimidation and like just pure raw intimidation wise, because their wrestlings are completely different.
But Kurt Hennig did fight Brock Lesnar on a plane though, so if he could fight Brock Lesnar for real on a plane, why not Gunther on kayfabe?
Right. So the person that came to my mind that I would say, like, even though I would put Gunther still above him, but like he was, the closest to what Gunther was back in the day, was Vader. Vader from WCW, Big Van Vader. That's probably the closest.
Would you say also, Pika, that on an unsuccessful level, that someone that could be compared as far as physical level to Gunther would be Vladimir Kozlov?
Yeah, Pringles in the bowl.
We know Kozlov was a failure, but I'm saying as far as physicality, do you think he matches?
Yes, he does. Yeah. And I feel like low-key Kozlov, in the right regime, like if he didn't debut, in the era that he did, he would have probably been a big star. He would have probably been on Sheamus level. Let's be completely honest. Because he was a brawling motherfucker, and his matches weren't that bad. Like I didn't even hate his match against Undertaker as back then. Like I thought that shit was nice.
Guys, you know what would be the hardest match to determine the winner?
What?
Tell me, like the hardest match to determine the winner. A triple threat match: Kurt Angle versus Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart.
Well, are we talking about the best versions of each individual?
Yeah, and all of them in their prime, by the way.
Oh yeah. Freaking Perk Angle wins.
Perk Angle.
You tell me how I'm wrong about that.
I can't fight you on that one, Pika. I plead the fifth.
It's always funny because Pete knows what I'm talking about.
I do.
If someone knows about the TNA stuff, if you know about the TNA stuff, I swear to God, And you know me, this is coming from a Canadian. I love Bret. He's like literally in my top 3. I'm putting Perk Angle over him. That means something.
Vince really tried to destroy Kurt though when he had Jason Jordan as his son.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. And it makes me sad because seeing Jason Jordan right now just being that guy just separate people, it's like, damn, what could have been? He's in a Joey Noble role. He's just basically separating everybody.
He's the backstage person now.
But a backstage person now, and I think he's also a match producer too, because I think he produces matches with Tyson Kidd, which is surprising. I don't think
which is good for him. It's good for him.
Right.
It's not just him showing up to break up fights. I mean, you see Kenny Dykstra, you see Daivari there.
Daivari, I keep forgetting about him.
Petey Williams.
Yeah.
And Hurricane.
Hurricane. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm always forgetting. Because he had Daivari. Yeah, I always see Daivari every time too. I'm like, yo, I didn't know he was actually employed. Wait, what about Devon? I thought Devon and Bubba were
Devon too. Yeah, Devon too.
Yeah, he was there too. Okay, yeah, I was about to say. You know what? Was freaking Tyson Kidd and Rude. Because I think Rude is doing like backstage. I don't see him at all too. I don't know if he officially retired, but like, I feel like. It's got to be that he officially retired because he's just been booking matches. By the way, if y'all didn't know, Bobby Roode was the person that booked the tag team match at WrestleMania, the Seth and Cody versus Rock and Roman. And if you think that was the best match at WrestleMania, then you can thank him for that. Fucking love that finish, dude. Holy crap.
The next match.
No, we didn't even. No, we were talking about the.
Cover that or no?
Yeah. No. Silver skipped all the way to the. I went to the IC title. We didn't talk about match 3 and match 4 yet.
Okay.
So we're talking about just Sammy and Braun right now. We didn't really get into it, but basically the point I was trying to mention was like, Gunther in his prime and Yoko in his prime. Gunther would like slaughter Yoko. Yoko was just basically like kind of like a better version, like a slightly better version of Great Khali back in the past. Like he was just that big foreign.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah. I loved Yoko, and I love Mr. Fuji a lot too. But it's like, that's the way I kind of see it. Like they were kind of like a gimmicky like group more so than intimidation group was. But Umaga, and that's a different story. Umaga was him. I freaking loved Umaga. But point being though, so basically I was saying Sami Zayn is basically like kind of Teflon right now. He's like unbeatable, this and that, and knowing like basically what they did at Money in the Bank with Braun, it's like we all thought like Braun was gonna win there, but he lost to Sami. So there might be another potential where it's like, does Braun just make it so close just to lose to Sami because Sami's kind of like the Rocky Balboa of WWE right now, or will they pull the trigger and actually give Braun the IC title? And if I can make my early prediction right now, I think the time is now. I think you flip the switch because I'm not gonna lie to you, Silver, and like I didn't really state this when I was watching it, Money in the Bank. When Braun came out, he came out to a new theme song, and that new theme song, Silver, it might be on that same level of I Bring the Darkness. But when he came out to that, I was like, he needed to win, and then Sami won, and I was like, oh, they're just waiting for SummerSlam to pull the trigger. So that's my prediction. I think Braun's gonna win, and I think he's gonna eviscerate Sami. He's gonna like break his soul, break his spirit. Hell, you know what? I actually see the scenario being like like him taking all this punishment from Braun, and he hits a spear, he kicks out a spear, he hits a spear again, he kicks out a spear. He's like, oh, the spear ain't working, and then he puts him in a Steiner recliner. Sami's not tapping out to the Steiner recliner, but he's gonna pass out to that man, and they're gonna freaking hook him. They're basically gonna give him the title. Basically, they're gonna give him like that whole dominant like Rusev like moment where when Rusev makes people pass out with the accolade type of moment. So, or even the forget what we call it, the Iron Sheik moment where majority of Iron Sheik victories was like his opponents passing out and not tapping out. I'll break your back and make you humble. My name is Braun Breaker. I broke Sami at SummerSlam. Like I see that promo afterwards. Like he will never be the same man anymore. Because I'm half Goldberg, half Rick Steiner, half Scott Steiner. I am the complete. I can see that promo happening. So that's my prediction. All right. Whoever wants to go next, you can go next.
Pete, all yours.
Well, I mean, pretty
Sami
much.
And Braun.
I'm going with the same answer Pika had, and that is Braun Breaker. I believe his time is now.
Yeah.
And Sami really has nothing to gain out of this. Like, I mean, he can't beat the babyface underdog forever. I mean, Braun the title so he can build himself.
And not only that, but like I hate to say, but I gotta use my continuity with this prediction. So obviously, you guys remember what I said about world title match and who I projected to win.
What'd you guys say for the Punk and Drew one?
Whoa, we didn't talk about
it. We didn't cover that yet.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I thought you did it while I was gone.
No.
No.
The whole time we were just on Sami and Braun, and we didn't even get to our predictions. We were just debating basically.
All right, so what's left then?
No. Wait, I didn't finish it. The continuity of what I was saying with Sami though is with the Gunther's winning. Gunther wins the world title. Wouldn't the first defense kind of be like cool if it was Sami? Because he could be like, hey, I have a stake in my claim for you because I beat you at Mania for the IC title. I could beat you for the world title at Bash of Berlin. Boom. So that's even another reason why I see Sami losing the title and challenging Braun for losing the IC title, elevating himself, challenge for the world title, and then and then Gunther being that dominant force to get his get back from Mania on Sami and have Gunther eviscerate Sami at the Bash of Berlin. So that's even another reason why I'm going to go with Braun winning the IC title and Gunther winning the world title. But yeah, Silver didn't give his prediction yet, but.
As cool as that would be to see,
yeah,
I do agree Braun probably needs it more. I'm on the fence.
I know.
Because on one hand, Braun does need it, and it would be a cool moment for him. But on the other hand, Sami's him.
He is, yeah.
And on the other hand, it's, in my opinion, still too soon since Sami beat Gunther to lose.
Not really.
Because in my head, the person who ends a reign like that has to hold the belt for a good amount of time.
Let me put it like this, and I feel like this would add more clarity to your prediction because you know stuff, but you don't know kind of the inner details of certain stuff. The reason why I could see Braun doing it, obviously, I explain all this ways, kind of push him as being the next unstoppable force of WWE, and what better way to beat the guy who's Teflon. Like he was almost impossible to beat in every scenario that you put him in, and he rose to the top. But the thing about Braun and what makes him special is Braun was one of the few people that actually beat Gunther in his WWE run.
Yes.
If Braun can beat Gunther and Sammy can beat Gunther, then it's so realistic to see Braun like actually going crazy and actually being the one to beat. Because then it would prove like we both beat Gunther, but I'm just a better person. You were the better person that one night, but I'm currently the better person. But you can say,
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand all that, and it makes sense.
Yeah. Because you were ragging on the fact that like the incredible feat that he did at WrestleMania. I'm saying it's been like Braun did that before Sammy. It wasn't for a title, but yeah. Or was it for a title? I don't know. Like could have been an NXT title match. I don't know. It happened on NXT.
Gunther never was NXT champion.
Yeah, so he probably beat him when he had no title.
He had the NXT UK title, but not the main NXT title.
I think when he lost the NXT UK title to Dragunov is when he moved to main NXT is when Braun beat him. It was around the 2.0 era is what I'm trying to say. But yeah. It was a great match though. It was a great match.
So it was before it was before Gunther went to the main roster.
Before Gunther went to main roster. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is though, you don't make that claim in the sense of like, oh, he's kind of a different person on the main roster. I think
I'm just figuring out timeline.
Yeah, Gunther has just been the same person throughout his whole freaking run in WWE, which is incredibly like. I'm surprised that he was booked really good on Shawn Michaels NXT. I'm surprised he was booked on Vince McMahon's freaking main roster. And I'm surprised he's being booked in Triple H. Like he's just been booked solid. Like he might be the greatest like foreign star that they created. Like I think he actually like without any titles have surpassed like the Barretts, the Sheamuses, the Cesaros, the Rusevs. Like I really see Gunther as like future Hall of Famer worthy for his candidate. He just needs to actually have like few runs of the world title and you put that man in the Hall of Fame. But
yep.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because maybe that'll help you kind of like because you're kind of shaky with your prediction. But continue.
But no, like I was like I said, I was just trying to figure out timeline for
the
event you were talking about. Not that I was going to use the time to belittle or anything like that.
I know.
And everything you're saying makes sense, and it certainly could
play. Because
don't
get me wrong, if Sammy
wins,
it's not the end of the day for Braun, but it's just to me, I feel like you got to flip the switch now because the example I'm making right now, and I feel like you get this, was remember when Roman had the WWE title and he was like getting booed this and that, and nobody really wanted to be champion, and surprisingly enough, another person named Braun was coming up the ranks and was destroying anything and becoming the biggest star that he could possibly be. And was getting people supporting him. Get these hands. I'm not finished with you. Like it was at the highest point of Strowman's career, and he still couldn't have And again, what they did, they didn't flip the switch. They didn't make him actually beat Roman to win that title, and because of that, they failed on him. And the Braun to where he is right now, and it's like it's not bad, but he could have been a larger life star. I'm afraid there's a potential of that happening if you don't flip the switch now because I hate to say it, Silver. Out of everybody, and I think even Pete knows about this shit. Out of everybody that got called up from the draft from NXT to the main roster, I think the person that clicked the most is Braun. And surprisingly enough, like he's a tweener. He does whatever he wants. He's a loose cannon. Nobody can tell him what to do. He'll interview people backstage. He will do all this crazy moments where he interfere in matches. He will help baby faces in situations where he seems like a heel is capitalizing on the stuff that he's doing. He's like, no, you don't capitalize on what I do. I'm the I'll do what's right and set the balance. And he eviscerate Kaiser and all this and that. And then every time he comes out, the crowd's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like he is legitimately the greatest NXT success right now. And I want them to capitalize on that. And it hurts me to say that because you know how much I like Sammy. But it just when you see a rising star right now, you got to strike when the iron's hot. And how long you have him hold the IC title, that's gonna be and who you're gonna have him defend for the obviously you have Dragunovs and the Sheamuses and the Bronson Reeds and this and that. But it's I wonder what the ideal WrestleMania match could be for him. And I swear to God, if they go all the way with this and kind of be like, hey, you know what? Goldberg, you wanted your retirement match? You're getting your fucking retirement match against Braun. And Braun beats him with a jackhammer. Oh my God. You finished? Oh yeah, you made a new star. You made a new star. He's this generation's, I guess, Roman, but like likable, like in the sense of like, how Roman, when he got to come up to being a upper echelon star, like nobody liked him. Braun can be the opposite, where people actually love who he is. So yeah, basically he has. No, wait, before you go silver, to end it off, he has a Ryback hat. You remember like Ryback in the like heyday when he was super hot, against going against the Authority. Like that's Braun. Like that's where Braun's about to reach. But yeah, you can go.
I feel like I'm about to get you on my case again.
No, do whatever you gotta do.
No. And I mainly just say that because like this is the first person that I thought of with what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
But Braun is in a similar situation to the situation LA Knight was in.
Right.
When LA Knight was challenging Roman.
Right.
Where LA Knight needed to win because it was a strike while the iron's hot thing, but he didn't.
Right.
So hopefully, if Braun does not win, he'll be able to keep it going like LA Knight kept it going.
But the likelihood of that is kind of low because the thing that kept LA Knight going, you know why? Because
the fans were behind him.
The charisma and the mic skills to kind of like, whatever like they would, give him, like he'll just literally throw it back at them and like make it, chicken shit into chicken salad. Well, Braun is like his actions speak louder than his words. And his actions, doesn't bring him far. Then what,
Right.
That's what I'm afraid of. Two different types of superstars, but you can continue.
No, I'm not making a completely stupid comparison.
No, you're not. They're similar in the rise to the top, but but can they handle like the adversity of losing? Basically, that's the point you're trying to make.
Yeah, if Braun loses, hopefully it's a similar situation to LA Knight where he can keep his momentum, like LA Knight kept his momentum.
Right.
So like right now, I'm in a gun to my head. Have to pick one scenario.
I know this is probably the toughest prediction you have. Yeah, this whole show. I laid it out for you, so like I have nothing to be ashamed of.
Right. Yeah. And there's no wrong winner here.
Okay.
Realistically speaking, there's no wrong winner here.
There isn't. No.
But gun to my head, if I have to pick one that I would want to win more than the other.
Oh, okay.
Right now, it's Sammy.
Okay.
But you made a hell of a case, and I would not be upset if Braun wins.
Yes.
But I'm gonna predict Sammy to win this match, but Braun get a rematch later down the line, and beat Sammy later on down the line.
Okay, that's fair. Cause hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like if you look at Sammy's career, like to bet against him is like one of the biggest mistakes you can really do. But I feel like the time is right now. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because I seen match one. If this was their first match, I would have been like, okay, this is their second match. So.
And Pete said he lost internet connection, so hopefully.
Yeah, he'll be back. Yeah, I was gonna say like, don't tell me you were chatting for so long that you left. I was like, no.
He left, but not on his own.
Yeah. Okay.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm telling him try to rejoin.
Yeah. Obviously, by the time he comes back, if he does take too long, he'll give us his quick predictions on everything. But all right, let me know. I guess when you.
No, I just sent him a message now.
Okay. So yeah, I guess let's move on to like a.
If he doesn't come back, then when we're done with the predictions, we'll end it there. Because the cartoon discussion should have him involved.
Right. Yeah, I'll say whenever we finish the prediction if he doesn't come back yet. What else you want to do next? We got 3 more, I'm assuming. We got a women's, we got the Undisputed, and we got the main event.
Let's do Liv versus Rhea.
All right. What do you know about this story? I feel like I'm very well versed in it. I want to know what you know.
The story is basically centered around Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan trying to take Dominic away from Rhea
Yeah,
as revenge for Rhea putting Liv on the shelf.
right.
That's kind of the crux of the story right now. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes and no, but I feel like if you can you go isn't this kind of like deep rooted? Like where does the story start from though? Like what started the whole
It starts from the fact that Rhea injured Liv in the
mm,
past
right?
I believe when Liv was champion,
Mm, no, she wasn't champion. No,
or was a challenger.
I believe so. Or was it? I think she was doing tag team stuff around that time frame because she was teaming with Raquel, I believe.
I don't know.
Because you got to remember, like that time frame. That time frame was like 2023, right? In 2023, like if you remember, the Liv and Raquel was in that WrestleMania Women's Showcase match, and then I'm assuming the injury happened sometime in the summer or in the spring, after Mania, wise. So it's like,
Right.
yeah, she was not champion around that time frame. 2022, she was champion because she won Money in the Bank in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but continue.
Yeah,
I'll fill in the
the
gap.
crux of the matchup.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Or the
what?
crux of the leading up to the match.
Yeah. So basically, just to give the viewers more in depth of what really happened or what more happened afterwards. It's like So Rhea took out Liv. Liv was gone for the longest. She came back and then she started this whole like, oh, I'm on a revenge tour and I'm gonna do whatever it takes, to kind of get my revenge back on Rhea Ripley. And in doing so, I think what happened was like after Rhea, defended her title against Becky at WrestleMania, which was a phenomenal match. I think there was like a backstage altercation between Liv and Rhea, and Liv got her get back in that backstage altercation by throwing a chair to her head, slamming her through the wall, her shoulders through the wall, this and that, all that, and it wasn't like a planned obviously segment, but like it turned into like a real life situation where like she actually needed some type of shoulder treatment and this and that, and because of that she would have to relinquish the title, which all of us hated because it's Rhea's had this phenomenal reign. If we're gonna see anybody end the reign, we want to see somebody end the reign. We don't want a vacancy to be the main reason why their reign's over.
Correct.
But so that happened, and then in doing so, they had a battle royal. Becky won the battle royal, became champion, headed into whatchamacallit, I think it was the Night of Champions. And then Night of Champions Liv, due to the distraction of Dom, putting a chair in the ring, won, the women's world title. Made sense because Becky's contract was expiring, and it's like it was the best opportunity to have Liv hold on to the top for Rhea to come back. And throughout this whole time, Rhea's been gone. Liv has been infiltrating the Judgment Day, doing all these scenarios where she's like, Daddy Dom, I love you, Dom. You're the reason I'm here. Da, da, da. This whole because. And at first, it seemed like it was mind games because it was like she's cut in a promo saying like, Rhea, I'm not just here just to take the world title from you. I'm here to take everything from you, including Dom. Which makes me think even more so. It's like, why is this match not for the custody of Dom? Been there, done that. You know what I mean? But let me speed it up right here. So obviously, Rhea comes back, is on a vengeance, and wants her revenge on Rhea, on her revenge on Liv. I'm gonna take the title from you. I'm gonna take everything from you, etc., etc. I'm gonna take your career from you, is what Rhea said. And yeah, that's basically the crux of it. But I'm gonna pass to you, Sliver. Now seeing what the whole story is, and Liv, kind of infiltrating the whole mix, of Dom, being kind of the power struggle. How do you see this match going? That's SummerSlam.
I mean, maybe I'm in the minority here, but I kind of hope Liv wins.
Okay.
But I want it to be a very long match, like the second or third longest match on the card. Long. so that they really have time to do everything they can with this story. But ultimately, I think I'm gonna go with Liv winning.
Are you gonna go with that?
Mm-hmm. For the
Like,
upset of the night.
name me like the scenario for that to happen. Like, how do you see? Like, you see like a clean win, or do you see a roll up, distraction?
I feel like Dominic is going to get involved and try to cost Liv the match, but inadvertently screw Rhea over instead, and Liv capitalizes.
Okay.
Miscommunication in the Judgment Day, like further setting up their inevitable split.
Okay. All right. You want to know what my awesome prediction is?
Go for it.
I hate to say it, Silver. Like, aside from the IC title match, you and I have been. Actually, I don't know. I feel like this whole show, you've been doing the opposite prediction from me. So, in this one, I'm not gonna lie to you, Silver. I think you might be onto something. I do really see Liv, retaining her title, but I don't see it the same way to how you're explaining it because it's kind of like they've been there, done that type of situation. Like it's kind of we've seen that before, happen in other matches. So it's like, why see it again?
Why have that be the primary story going into it if it's not going to play a factor?
No, it's definitely you're right. But I'm saying the story can play a little bit differently, which is what I'm saying. Because this is SummerSlam we're talking about. This is like the biggest party of the summer. This is like the biggest part, the biggest show of the summer. So what I'm thinking is, knowing the storyline continuity and everything that's been going on with Liv and Dom and Rhea and this and that, I think Dom is gonna turn. I think Dom's gonna say like, "Fuck Rhea, I love Liv," and they're gonna swerve us like big time, like how they did the whole Dominic swerve when he turned on his dad type of thing.
Right.
He turned on his dad. It wouldn't kind of make sense to him turning on his mommy. And that being realistically the way, like, Rhea loses. Because when you really think about it, like, even that scenario that you talked about didn't even seem realistic in being Rhea because this is Rhea Ripley that we're talking about. But a betrayal, that cuts deep. And it makes even Dom even more of a heel because he already is the heel in the situation. Everybody already hates him. So it's like, make him even a bigger heel by turning on somebody that everybody loves, which is Rhea Ripley.
Right.
So I see a situation where, like, Dom turns the hell out of Rhea. And like Rhea can't believe that shit, and like Liv capitalized on that and retained the title. And like I don't know what that says, about Dom, in Judgment Day, because it's going to be a situation where it's going to be a moral conflict. It's going to be like,
either way, it says Dom is a woman beater. It needs to be arrested post haste. Me Too movement, bitches.
Yeah, you're funny. Oh my god, but no, yeah, I don't know how he's gonna do it, but he's gonna do something that's gonna be so heinous and it's gonna be so dirty, and it makes sense because he's dirty down number one, and number two, it's like if anybody will take a hit or like a shot, wouldn't be like Rhea, she's dropped so many dudes in her career, it's like it wouldn't make sense, and it makes Rhea more sympathetic in the situation because it's like everybody already loves her, but now they're gonna be more in support of her, so it's like I see that, but then the moral dilemma that I see is like, how does Judgment Day feel about that situation? Because it's either going to be like Judgment Day is on Rhea's side, or they're going to be like, oh, we're going to toss Rhea and we're going to, take Dom and Liv. And it only really depends on like, what Finn and Carlito and freaking what's his face JD are going to be thinking about, because at the end of the day, like Liv gave them the tag titles, so it's like, it would make sense. It's like, where were you like all this time frame that we needed? You were out injured. You never contacted us, and that's like they could all really turn on Rhea. So it's not even a situation where like Dom leaves Judgment Day. It's more like a situation where Rhea, that's Rhea's exit from Judgment Day. Maybe her herself is gonna be like, I don't want to be a part of Judgment Day because of how big this betrayal is. So make a story out of it is what I'm trying to say. keep it like
No, I
generic,
agree.
you know. Yeah, so
I
that's the way
agree.
I see it. Yeah.
There is one
Yeah.
thing I've been wondering for a while. Maybe you can
Yeah.
explain it.
Mm. Yeah.
I know I'm going to sound stupid for asking this, but
Mm.
at this point, it is what it is. Why
Right.
is Carlito in the Judgment Day?
Okay, let me put it like this. So you saw how like R-Truth worked in that little like brief moment when it came to like him trying to be a member of Judgment Day, this and that. They're doing basically the same thing with Carlito, but it's not jokey. It is jokey, but it's in the sense of like he is a really good asset for Judgment Day, you know. And I think he's not a full member of Judgment Day. He's trying to like get to the level of like him being recruited for Judgment Day, but he's doing all these things, having these comedic segments backstage, and also like his intent of joining Judgment Day is because he wants protection from like the other family that he abandoned. So that's the main purpose. And trust me when I tell you this, on paper it's like so weird, but when you actually see it, like of him, like how he interacts with the members of Judgment Day, it's like a perfect fit. Like you would actually like it. It's actually like the best usage of Carlito I've ever seen, in his career. Actually, it's actually really good. All right, so let's move on to our second to last match, which in my opinion should be the curtain jerker, but not really a curtain jerker, but like the mid show curtain jerker. But we got the undisputed title match with our undisputed WWE Universal American Nightmare Cody Homelander Rhodes will be defending his title against Solo Sikoa, the new tribal chief, that is Solo Sikoa. So with that being said, him, being, the new tribal chief and him, controlling, the best version of the bloodline we've ever seen in WWE history. How do you see this match fare? Remember, this is Solo Sikoa we're talking about versus Homelander.
Yeah.
Sikoa.
Here's why I hope this is actually the main event of SummerSlam instead of CM Punk.
Oh no! Here you go. Here you go with the propaganda. I mean, listen though. I'm not gonna knock you until I hear it. But...
Wait, what?
No, I'm saying here's the propaganda. I'm not gonna knock you until I hear you. Here's what I said.
Imagine a scenario.
Yeah.
Where, kind of like with how Cody won the belt, it's like 15, 20, 25 minutes of just him getting his ass handed to him by his opponent.
Yeah.
Cody taking every small lapse of judgment that Solo has, trying not to come back, failing every single instance. And as the match draws near, Solo's about to fulfill the prophecy of becoming the next tribal chief.
Yes.
He hits that Samoan spike.
Yes.
1.
Yeah.
2.
If
Music plays.
What the Rock?
No.
Final boss mode engaged. Alright, I'm done. Sorry. Yeah, that, in my opinion, will make me bust it up. Is what I'm trying to say. I know you're gonna mention another music, which is equally as good, but yes. I would, I personally would say, the rock star should come back. But anyways,
that would be a good that would be a good replacement decision.
Yeah. Because the reason why I'm saying, let me mention the Rock thing real quick, is that I knew you weren't alluding to the Rock thing, which is why I wanted to mention Rock thing. The Rock thing makes so much sense because it can be like in the sense of like, because of all the things that the Rock did, at going up in the build up of Mania, and then afterwards, like giving Cody his flowers and everything, and giving him like something, and whispering in his ear with something, or he did something for him to kind of be like, I don't want things playing out like this. This is not like the bloodline. Like him being the guy to kind of defend Cody in the 11th hour. I don't know, man. That shit like that will break the roof. I know this other scenario you mentioned is gonna break the roof, but just the whole ally, because the thing is, like, The Rock's doing it out of respect, for Cody, which is why he's like, I can't let this slide. This is not the bloodline. This is like, I'm the final boss. This is what, like, I need to put things in order, and he's coming to fix everything. While the scenario that you're talking about is kind of like, vengeance / like, retribution. I'm coming back to get back what I lost, and what I lost and is due to you, and I'm gonna get my revenge. So, like, there's a revenge story and a justice story. I like the justice story a lot more than the revenge story, but you can continue. So, because I haven't said a name, so I didn't ruin your
Yep. Well,
But continue.
You're half right.
Half right. What the fuck? Continue.
It is the person you're thinking of.
Okay.
But I'm not looking at it as a revenge story.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at it as reclaiming his island. Not targeting Cody. Targeting Solo.
Sequoia.
And officially beginning the Civil War.
Yeah.
Of the bloodline.
Yes. But the thing is he gonna do it all on his own, night one? Or are we assembling the Avengers night one?
Oh, we're assembling the Avengers. but you know who those members are. I'm not gonna say them because I will butcher it and be left into the island of irrelevancy, which I don't want to go to yet. But
which is the Isle of Samoa, but yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to get
one, two Roman's music hits.
Yeah, the WrestleMania version, by the way. Like, we gotta clarify.
Exactly. WrestleMania version of Roman's theme.
Yes. Yeah, we need that. Yes.
Rome, like the bloodline rushes the stage.
Right.
Roman's standing at the top. Just when you think Roman's about to start fighting the other members of the bloodline, Roman's backup interferes, and they start fighting the members of the bloodline that aren't Solo.
Right.
Meanwhile, Roman goes to the ring, fights Solo, spears the hell out of him.
To oblivion,
And Cody is able to hit the crossroads on Solo while Solo is still hurt from the spear. Right. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
Cody retains with the help of Roman. After the match, Roman spears Cody because he's not done with Cody yet, but he has to reclaim his family first. And then once he reclaims his family, then he's coming for Cody.
Right. No, I like that. Even though there's like a major tweak I want to do with that idea, obviously. I already mentioned, like, the fantasy one. But in regards to, what you were saying, what I would prefer, my preference would be if all that happens after the match. And what I mean by happens after the match, I'm talking about the whole Roman moment, this and that, because it would make so much sense for, like, Solo, beating the crap out of Cody, but Cody being that resilient guy and saying, like, Roman gave me a better fight at WrestleMania. You're not him, this and that, and, like, goes all Homelander, does his Homeland, and then just, like, on an inch of his life beats, Solo. Solo, bitter as hell because, like, he had it so close to, beating Cody, but Cody just being that resilient, calls the hit, come in the ring, the bloodline member number 1, number 2, number 3, and they all just, like, beat the crap out of Cody. Randy's not coming. Kevin's not coming. All of them are taken out. Everybody that Cody that was going to defend him is gone. They're out of the picture, basically. Let's say they even did something like a segment early in the show where, like, all the members on Cody's side are taken out. So nobody can, like, help him in that beatdown. And that's where you do the ultimate save of Roman. And if you want to assemble the the Avengers, then you can assemble the Avengers because you can have, like, Roman not come alone. to fend off, members of the, that's where you can, and then that'll be Heyman's return too, by the way, because Heyman has been gone for like a while, and you can kind of have him like, in his what you call it, wheelchair brace, whatever you name it. He's there, and he's like, Roman, sick him, Jimmy, sick him, Dave, sick him, and I hate to even say it, Sammy.
Nah. That'd be hilarious, but nah.
I hate to say this over. I really like not now, but if we like allude to or we get to the point where they do the War Games match, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sammy on the other side. I'm just saying.
At that point, sure, but not
not now, not 100%. He's trying to survive for a part of his life against Braun, so like I don't think he'll be
Mm-hmm.
He won't make it, but yeah, and then boom, there you go.
No, your idea is fantastic too.
Yeah, because the thing is, at least we get a clean match. Because I think that's the thing we love so much in wrestling. We like interferences, but only when it actually elevates the story. If it's like, and this one elevates the story, but the thing in my mind, this is like the upper echelon title. This is like the biggest title in WWE. So like, it's like it being the undisputed WWE Championship, the title that Cody won cleanly, at Mania. It's like I want the same thing to happen, Because when you even look at Mania, it's like, yeah, there was a lot of interferences, but like, did any of them benefit anybody? Like, really? Like, no. Like, it was just all like, yeah, I'm gonna interfere. No, I'm gonna interfere. Like, and they all like cancel each other out. But Cody legitimately, beat Roman clean at Mania. I want the same things for Solo, but I want Solo to be presented as like such an ultimate threat, though. Like him doing everything, and he gave him like I want to see that the OMG moment where he just. Hits him. Small spike. Sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down. He still kicks out. Like he doesn't even kick out. Like he just moves his shoulder. It's like no. Why aren't you dying? And then he has and then he does the tongue and death grip, and he gets out. All right, now, Vicky, you try to sell me on like fucking like. I'm already gonna watch the freaking the Deadpool this weekend. Like you don't need to sell me this. But no, that's also 20 hours, less than that. Probably like 15 hours.
T minus 15 hours.
Oh,
ish.
I got under that. Yeah. Which like if the viewers, whenever we both watch Deadpool, we can have that maybe a discussion topic for like the next podcast. Like, we can definitely do that. But ultimately, just to cut my point, if that all happens, then yeah. But if it doesn't, if Roman doesn't show up or Rock doesn't show up, I don't want this match. I mean, I think you and I can agree. It'll be such a buzzkill that it's not even really worth it.
Right.
Speaking of the match that I'm saying is the main event, but I'm not saying it just because it's one of my favorite wrestlers in this main event. I'm saying it's legitimately the most built-up match of the year. Like, when you really think about it.
Before you go any further with that, we're both in agreement Cody's retaining.
Yeah, for sure. Cody's retaining, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot to get my prediction, but yeah, Cody. There's no way. So
get that on recording. Yep.
Yeah. I feel like everybody realized while I was explaining, Cody being reserved.
I know, but just there's no.
Yeah, confusion. Yeah. Yep. All right. So with that being said, leading on to the main event, the most built-up match of the year, and I feel like this is such an important match because this is his first singles match in 11 years. So it's like, there's so much to this match that it leads to what can be, and obviously the match being CM Punk's return match to WWE, it being SummerSlam, and not only that, SummerSlam is a good show for CM Punk, because lest we forget his match against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2013, which I was out there. I was there, by the way, for that match. I forgot to mention. I was there that night. And I almost wanted to go to the next fall year too, which was the Bryan and Cena, but I didn't really. Actually, wait. No, Bryan and Cena actually happened that show. Actually, never mind. No. That happened. Wait. Wait, what was there was a whole churn? I feel like that all happened in the same year. I feel like the next year was probably like something else. I think they were doing like maybe the whole like Bell Twins or whatever. I don't know. I'm not even. Yeah, that seems like a whole, and it was a whole decade ago. But so we have CM Punk returning after all these times. You know, facing the Scottish hater, nemesis, loser, Punk, stupid ass motherfucker that literally injured my king, my messiah at what you call Royal Rumble, ruining his main event match at WrestleMania Night 1. But hey, let's be talk about that, the better, because I can go on a whole tirade with that. But this is a grudge feud that they've been building up throughout the whole year, and to add it on top of that, they have a special official for this match. And I don't want to say I told you so because I feel like this is something I did told you so, but like somebody could be my witness. I'm the one who said that I feel like this is what they're trying to plan. They're gonna have Seth like not be in an active role entering SummerSlam because it doesn't like what titles would he compete for the world title the previous month? It just makes sense for him to kind of officiate this because he got screwed out, and it goes to show in the sense it's like he has animosity for Drew. Obviously, he has animosity for CM Punk. So it's like, what is next on the agenda? Like, what is like he gonna do? Is he gonna actually follow the script, go down the line, and be the most cordial official that we need him to be for this match, or is he gonna have his own plans? That's for like the day of the match that when we watch that we're gonna figure out on SummerSlam day. So with that being said, Silver, what's your thoughts on this main event, and what do you see what the outcome is? What do you see the story is? How do you feel about both competitors? Like, let the viewers know everything because this is the main event right here, the be all and all. I'm giving you the power, Silver. I'm gonna raise my hand just for you, Silver.
Well, if you're raising the one, I gotta raise the one.
Now speak it.
Okay. So, Punk versus McIntyre.
Yes.
Is kind of interesting. Not, I mean, obviously because of the story, but
obviously, yeah.
On the other hand, you have the uncalculable variable of Seth Rollins, and who's he gonna screw over more?
Right.
I can't help but feel that, and I know you're not gonna like this. I don't necessarily like this, but in terms of setting up future matches, I think this is the way to do it. And that would be have Punk lose this because of Rollins, screwing Punk.
Yeah.
To set up Seth Rollins versus CM Punk at the Royal Rumble.
Oh shit! At the Royal Rumble
or whatever the next major pay per view is.
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, yeah. So you set up Punk and Rollins for Survivor Series by having Rollins cost CM Punk the match with Drew via the way Rollins does the officiating.
Mm-hmm.
He's not helping Punk because him not adding red areas, but he's also not harming Punk either. But he's got something going on under the table to help Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he hates Punk more than he hates Drew.
Right.
And of course, Drew. How do I word this? Drew needs this win a lot more than CM Punk needs it. In my opinion. In my opinion.
In your opinion, you gotta explain that better, buddy.
I'm getting there because at this point, it feels like CM Punk has done a lot more things to make Drew McIntyre's life a living hell than Drew McIntyre has done to CM Punk at this point.
Yeah, in Europe.
Yes, he has the bracelet or whatever it's called that has the dog and
his wife.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Punk has been costing Drew title matches on multiple occasions at this point.
Right.
Being a constant thorn in his side, which, while warranted,
it's karma.
Drew is that asshole, but
it's karma. Yeah. Because the thing is, he's putting himself in these scenarios where he can get screwed out. Because the thing is, like, you got to realize all these matches and that it's like all he really needs to do after being set at WrestleMania and winning that world title was just kiss his wife and leave. But he started gloating in front of CM Punk's face, and that led him to kind of get screwed out of the world title because So he engaged in Punk's business and he got dropped. And then you look at the situation where he even cashed in Money in the Bank. It's like, what idiot cashes in Money in the Bank mid-match, knowing damn well that like this could be a situation where like somebody can come in and like hit me and nothing will be like referees are not gonna stop it. They're not gonna like who cashes in knowing Punk is gonna do something? You know what I mean? Like all he had to do was keep that briefcase for a while, and then guess what? If he beats Punk at SummerSlam or whatever the issue, then he cashes in afterwards. Punk's out of the picture. I'm world champion. He's not thinking. He's giving himself all these scenarios of getting screwed out. So like the thing is like you're painting in a situation where we should feel sympathy or any type of sympathetic for Drew McIntyre, but like clearly the audience don't. I don't. So it's like I don't know what you're talking about. Everything that Drew McIntyre is getting, you should be getting that plus tenfold. It's not getting old to me, And this is me speaking in the sense of just the average viewer just watching and seeing like what he's doing to Punk and like how he's shit talking him, and then Punk can't do anything about it because he's not medically cleared. Because damn well like if Punk was medically cleared, he wouldn't have the mouth to say that shit. Like that ass, he would be fucking he'll fucking. He'll make him spit out his teeth and make him actually eat his teeth and bullshit, But yeah. So it's like, get to your point. The point being is like, yeah, like I don't know, like you still never gave me a good explanation why Drew really needs this one more than Punk does. I can give you all the explanation in the world why Punk really needs this one, and it's more valid. But I'm just, get him a stronger point before I debunk you.
The point being why
Drew really needs this win. Like he can't afford to lose this. Like tell me why.
I just think for like setting up future storylines' sake that there's more you can do if Punk loses than you can do if McIntyre loses.
But I'm saying all those potential storylines that you're talking about in the future, like, does it have to be a situation where Drew wins and Punk loses? Like, it's like it has to. Like, what you're saying? Because you're making a claim like he has to, beat Punk. I'm saying like all those things that you're talking about for the future, like, does it have to like revolve around like Punk losing this match, or will it still happen if Punk whether wins or loses? Like, think about it.
I mean, it can happen if Punk wins, but the story in my head would make less sense in that scenario.
Okay.
Because like if Punk wins, then it's just the never-ending cycle of McIntyre trying to get revenge on Punk for everything that's going wrong.
No,
If
wait, how is it? Is it never ending when CM Punk wins, but it's not never ending when Drew wins? Like, see, you know.
Because it's not Drew beating Punk, it's Rollins screwing Punk.
Okay. All right.
If Rollins is the one costing Punk the match, McIntyre got his get back. Now McIntyre can move on, and Punk can now turn his attention to Rollins to set up,
Yeah, but you're
Rollins
saying to get back, but like he's the victim. Like, why is Drew the victim and not Punk? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, everything that like I literally painted out there, everything that Drew's like, woe is me, this and that. Like, he engaged. There hasn't been anything that CM Punk that did that was out of pocket that like you felt like some type of way. Like he's like, how is Drew sympathetic in this whole storyline? CM Punk is, but not Drew. Who's the babyface? Who's the heel?
That's true.
That's number one. But then let me get to my point, and then I'll tie in maybe like maybe make you think differently on like how the story can play out better in your brain, I guess. So with Punk, the reason why he needs to win is first and foremost, this is his first singles match in like 11 years. You can't have him enter his first singles match and just have him lose, because the thing is, it's like he had his first showcase at the Rumble. Like that was like the preview. That wasn't like an actual match. Like nobody really counts like a Rumble a match. It's kind of like, oh, like I'm back now. Like I'm in the fold right now. Let me get into the mix type of thing. He was supposed to have this high profile match at one of the WrestleMania main events, and like obviously like that was taken away from him because of injury. He has something to prove because the injury, the time that he was gone, the blood feud that he has with Drew, and if he ever wants to put himself in the mix in future title contentions, he needs to win. The story is complete when CM Punk wins. But I see what you're saying in the sense of like, oh, if CM Punk loses, due to like Seth Rollins, like that's how like Drew ends his saga with Punk, and then it moves on with Punk feuding with Seth. But what I don't understand, or what what you fail to understand, and I want you to understand, is Seth can really like call this match down the middle. If anything, he could probably be like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm the official, but like, I'm not gonna be in a situation where like, like I want to get in the middle of y'all. Like, y'all freaking rip each other's heads with this and that. Like, he might not even like listen to rope breaks. He might not like, he might just be like, hey, you know what? Like, just kill each other. Like, he might even like when they're fighting outside, he might even not even do the count. He'll be like, I'll be posting, just sitting. Y'all beat each other. When y'all feel tired to come back to the ring, you guys can come back to the ring. He'll be like the most lenient ref. But then I feel like when the time comes when he does the count and this and that, he's gonna follow the rules and this and that. But when he awards Punk the victory, what happens afterwards can lead to anything. He can give Punk the victory, raise his hand, and still kick him in the balls and be like, fuck you, motherfucker, for screwing me. Because now you finished your story. But guess what? I'm not going to let you stand tall in this main event or like in a highlighted match at SummerSlam and curve Samba on the stop. And it can be like, hey, you cost me the world title. That's your karma. Da-da-da-da-da. And then things move on. You can have Punk get his clean win. You can have Drew McIntyre fade into irrelevancy like he deserves to be, because it's the fucking biggest hater in the world, the despisable, and nobody fucking likes him. That ass, and anybody that likes him thinks he's funny. But realistically, this character is not like, likable. Like McIntyre was on fire when he was carrying the pandemic in WWE. McIntyre was on fire when he won the Royal Rumble and Claymore for the Brock Lesnar out in the Royal Rumble. This McIntyre is a freaking, half the person that he was, and he does not deserve anything. And I'll tell you why he doesn't even deserve this win, because the counterpoint, like everything, look at like the year that McIntyre's been having. He won at WrestleMania. He won Money in the Bank. He got screwed out in his hometown. But guess what? He got the main event in his hometown. He's been getting everything that he wants. And he resigned, he got his, contract, this and that. Like, he's been on a hierarchy. He's been on like a higher uptick. Well, Punk, his stocks has been low ever since the injury, because he's been trying to get cleared this whole time. He's doing the bare minimum to kind of stay relevant. But the thing about Punk is, like, the bare minimum is a lot, because the bare minimum is his mouth. And that's his biggest asset. He can talk the talk, he can walk the walk, and he proved, he could walk the walk when he came to Money in the Bank, when he showed up. Because he must believe my reaction when he came in to screw back and I started laughing. I was like, yo, that's my go. That's my king right there. Okay, this is by far the best failed cash I've ever seen. Actually, matter of fact, I might have to rank it as the best failed cash of all time. Like, dead ass. Dead. Shout out to Damien for capitalizing on that shit though. But like, yeah, that was the best like cash in ever. So with that being said, now that I painted the picture in a sense of like the story can continue, Seth can turn heel, but it can all happen when this chapter closes.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So with that being said, we both agree that CM Punk wins at SummerSlam.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's go, man. I didn't win the Braun debate, but like I knew that CM Punk debate was too great, bro. I knew that shit was, I was cooking in my brain, man. I was cooking. Let me raise my hand down. Let me actually, matter of fact, let me kiss myself real quick. Like shit, man. Oh my god, yeah, I freaking love myself, man. All right, anyway.
One of these days you're gonna teach me how to do that.
Huh?
One of these days you're gonna teach me how to do that.
Yeah, kiss yourself? Yeah, it's kind of like
Because when I press the 3 dots, it doesn't. Nothing shows up like that.
You don't see no emoticons?
I see open chat, hold call, add people, stop recording, snapshot, screen share, raise hand, captions, change view.
Wait, what does captions do actually? Hola. Wait. Oh, does it actually put subtitles for?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We don't need no subtitles, man. We don't need no subtitles. But question though, since we finished my behalf and your behalf of the predictions, is Pete coming back or is he gone?
I sent him a text saying, "Come back, try to rejoin if you can," and he never did.
Man, this Pete guy, bro.
We could end this. I mean, his internet went down, and I guess he figures it's late enough at night that he's just gonna go to bed.
Fair enough. I'm kind of happy I told you to record though. Like that's the biggest W for today. But anyways, just for the viewers, like me and Summer are gonna try our best to kind of do like more of these, because whenever you have the time and we can gather everybody together, what better way than the boys just talking the shit and like debating on like certain topics, whether it be cartoon, movie, TV, video games, because best believe I ain't gonna lie, Silver, like how you had that debate with Pete with the Power Ranger show. Best believe it, on recording, bro. We're gonna have that Pokemon debate, bro, because I've been schooling you so much 1v1 when it comes to like off-screen stuff. I'm telling you, man, it can be the topics of your choosing. But best believe I'm going crazy with that, and whatever other topics you think you and I are, very well versed, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, you name it. But I feel like Pokemon has got to be that first one, though. Like, we gotta go crazy with that. But thank you everybody for joining us. Anybody who's at this point, we appreciate the love, and I'm talking just to you, Wolfie, by the way, and like you've been like honestly, like if someone was that type of YouTuber that put incentives on his YouTube channel, I'd give you like freaking 10 channel points, bro. Every time you watch a video, bro, you deserve that. I'll make a custom emoticon just for Wolfie, bro. That loyalty, I'm telling you, 13
I
years.
would too, actually.
Yeah, 13 years of just watching. Yeah. And I know you're watching too, Simon. And I know you're watching too. Forget bum ass Rob, but like I know y'all watching this. I can see the algorithm. I can see. But the thing is, like, I don't know if your attention span.
Like Rob's gonna comment 2 minutes. 2 minutes in. Trash stream.
No, I know Rob with his pea brain doesn't have the attention span to make it all the way to this end, so he would not comment. Like if I said that at the beginning, you best believe you would get that comment, being like, "This is trash. NCW is trash. I never wanted to be there, even though I messaged y'all 100 times. Now I want to be back. Matter of fact, can I join NCW right now?" Dumbass, stupid ass. Like acting like NCW did not right.
He can rejoin the new version of NCWF that hasn't even gotten off the ground yet.
Exactly, and that's called.
It's called Not Our Problem.
No. It's called LLW. You know what LLW is?
The LWO.
No, LLW. No L's and one W. Loser League Wrestling.
Yeah, I was just about to say something like that, actually.
Yeah. Shout out to CC, by the way, because that was the name that I think either Future or whatever. Whenever somebody left and they started doing big, they called it like Loser League. They called it something, and the initials I was like, oh, is it called Loser League? Like what? Like, and also the farmers too. Shout out to Kobe. Like, I didn't know you were like a real American farmer, but like, one of these days you deserve to be in a Hall of Fame. But right now you're in the the farmer. You're in the farmland saga right now. So like, it is what it is.
Wait, Kobe's actually a farmer? That's awesome.
Yeah. Remember, like he said, "Yo, fuck NCAA, I'm a farmer." Like, remember he cut that like legendary promo in that group of like random
Oh,
people.
good for him. Thank you for keeping us fed.
That's what I told him. Like, yo, you produce the best like produce I've ever seen. Like, I get it. If
He
you
lays the best eggs.
not only that, but sorry, he produces the bad eggs. Like, you don't focus on the bad eggs.
Well, fuck that. Even if he does produce bad eggs, he still makes up for it by squeezing out the greatest milk.
Right. And I'll say this though, like I'm not telling you, I'm not gonna pass on that. What the fuck did you just say?
Farmers have to collect the milk.
Oh, I thought you meant he was milking himself, man. Like he was
No.
Gotta keep this PG, man.
Those milk pumping machines ain't gonna run themselves.
Oh yeah, they do use machine nowadays. Nobody really uses the hand. Oh wait, no, freaking Amish people.
No. Yeah,
they
Amish still use their hands.
I was about to say, dude, I'm like that machine thing. Like kind of like put me on a loop because I'm like they use machine nowadays. Like they probably do for like everything, but it's like I never really went to a like every time I went to
Most farms use machines.
Yeah. Which farms?
Most farms.
Most farms, yeah, because the farms I went to growing up, like I just saw them like doing it like hand. But I guess
Yeah, back in the day they did that. They did it that way.
Right. But I told this man, I'm like, if you invested that much into your gaming career, like how you did in your farmer career, bro, shit, you might have been undisputed champion, dead ass. Like all you really need to do was cash in when I was weak. That's all I was.
Yeah, and then it would have taken years for you to recover from that.
Not really, because the thing is that would have been a bad cash in, but it still wouldn't be bad as like what you did to Blake. What you did to Blake was actually a lot worse. Because that was the biggest. Like the thing is. If he would have did that to me, it would have been like, oh, like Riku injured me, or ABT injured me, or whoever else I was facing around that time era, right? Or even like Easting injured me. It would have been for him. It would have been like he beat Crayman, ABT, Crayman, ABT. What was it? It was triple threat, right? Yeah. I beat Crayman, ABT the same night just to lose to fucking
Jericho.
Exactly. And I'm not trying to put you at. I'm saying like you really stole his thunder. Like you stealing his thunder is a higher like than just Kobe like doing that to me. Because Kobe doing it to me is like, oh yeah, that's the liberties of the briefcase. For you, on the other hand, you took that biggest achievement from his career away from him. Like you couldn't even cash in his following night. You couldn't.
How would I have done it? How would I have done it that way? The pay-per-view would be over.
I know. I mean, like in the sense of like knowing you with the briefcase, even though like knowing you the person, knowing you the character were two different things. But like you could have been like you the person could have been like, oh, I would have done the RVD stuff. Say I want the match, you just book it. And,
Colby did that and failed. I wasn't repeating. Yeah, but Colby did.
Yeah, but to be honest, like
come on,
not you can't compare the massacre between me and Colby in a singles match than you and because
I'm not talking about quality of the match. I'm talking about intelligence of using the briefcase.
I know, but I'm saying, you consider yourself like an honorable competitor? Like I know you're not because of, the character you were, but I'm saying like you, the person, that you consider yourself like an honorable.
I was a babyface when I had Money in the Bank.
Oh, so why didn't you do it the RVD way then?
Because I watched Colby do it the RVD way and fail.
But Colby's such a bad
example. And I knew it was my only shot at becoming undisputed champion.
I know. I get it. But I'm saying Colby versus me is so different than you, because you and Blank did.
And I had to fulfill the prophecy of holding both top belts at the same time. That was my one shot to do it.
Yeah, you could have still done it with the following night. It could have been like Chaos Card. Like. I'm enacting my briefcase.
Yeah, I would just have to hope that Bling was booked in a match on Chaos.
No. All you had to do is like, I'm enacting my briefcase. I want Bling at Chaos.
No.
What do you mean no?
I'm not becoming the second person to back fail a Money in the Bank cash in NCWF history. I'd rather become the first person to succeed.
I know, but what I'm saying is like, you never bet on yourself. Is what I'm saying, which is why I'm surprised. That's all.
Nah,
The
I
first
mean,
day, yeah.
I could
Because for me,
I could bet on myself, but
I know.
like,
No, I'm saying the fear of failure.
I
Got to
wanted to
you,
be
like,
Mr. Inaugural, and I was.
well, the being the first person to cash in successfully or whatever.
But not only cash in successfully, but hold both the undisputed and IC title at the same time.
No, but I'm saying like that point you're making is like you did it in a scenario that guaranteed it for you. But I'm saying like wouldn't it be cooler if you actually earned it like that? Because it would have been like cooler for your character if your character was babyface at that time frame. If you had the
Yeah,
confidence.
but I was running around. I was starting to run out of time to cash in Money in the Bank.
No. That money banks is a full year. You didn't have that shit for a full year. What are you
I
talking
had
about?
it for how long?
You had it.
6 to 8 months.
Okay? Let's say if you. Yeah, you probably had a remainder of like 4 to 5 months before it expired. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, Money in the Bank would be around like November-ish, December-ish, right?
Yeah, Money in the Bank was like the first pay per view of the new game.
Right. And
Like
SummerSlam is
first or
nowhere.
second.
Yeah, SummerSlam is not close to.
No, it was Survivor Series and then Money in the Bank.
Right. So yeah, okay, yeah. Survivor Series was the first year, and then
So I was starting to run out of time.
Yeah,
but
you
I
were.
wasn't out of time yet.
You were, but the time would. But the thing is, okay, let me put it like this: if let's say
And I was too preoccupied with the IC title stuff for.
No, I get it. But I'm explaining for the viewers. Like, I'm explaining for the viewers. It would have been a scenario where, like, let's say we didn't cash in at SummerSlam, and let's say SummerSlam was like the last pay-per-view, or like the second to last pay-per-view. Your briefcase moves on to the next game until the Money Bank pay-per-view comes up. So like you would have basically up until Money in the Bank to cash it in. So you weren't on like So all what I'm trying to say is like all you had to do is like the night after. Yeah,
but there's usually like a month break in between games, which eats away that much time from the clock.
Right. Which is why like whenever you make it to the next game, the first night you can boom, the first night of the new game, I'm cashing in.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like regardless, you didn't need to do that. What I'm saying is like you're saying I had limited time because I was afraid it was gonna run out. I'm saying no, you could have just cashed in the following night after SummerSlam. That's all I'm saying. And you could have betted yourself, and you could. I'm not saying what you did was bad. I'm saying like like just that you having the fear that you're gonna lose the bling, knowing the year that you had.
And knowing the night that he had.
Yeah, the night he had. No, but this is the difference though. The night he had was a one night like thing. You've been doing that throughout that whole year, like overcoming the. So it's like he had one moment where it compared to you, while you had a whole year of build up. So what I'm trying to say, you would still be the favorite, like if it was a singles match. And I hate to say Bling, he's good at multi-man match. He's not good at single matches. Name me a really good like single match at Bling, like like that's what I'm saying. Like he's been a really good like multi. And when I say multi, I'm saying like, look at how decorated he is when it comes to tag team stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So what I'm trying to say, you probably would have had his number, like how you had Kramer's more of a challenge, and you beat him. So like Blink to you, like he would have been like, if anything, he wouldn't take you seriously. Like, and that's the sad part too, because he like you were having a fire year, but like knowing the ego that Blink has, you'd probably been like, Silver City Cash and I can maybe be friendly, this and that. You would have been on your A game. You would have code broken the fuck out of it, and you would have still won, and you still would have been mature, not mature. Both out. But I'm saying at the end of the day, it's like don't compare. I think I'm gonna do a Colby. Or I feel like I'm gonna do a Colby because I'm gonna do it that way. Colby was just an idiot because he did a fair cash in against a guy who's an expert in the game, a guy who's leagues ahead of him. While you would have done like a cash where somebody's like he's on the same level as you, but you were having the better year, you had the momentum. So if anything, I think history would still repeat itself, and it would have been like a different type of way, and it would have been more like, holy fuck, so you really bet on yourself type of thing. But regardless, you had your moment. So I'm just saying like you shouldn't. If anything. If I were to be like, if you could rewrite history right now, Silver, and would you have like cashed in that same night, or would you have done the RVD way? All I'm saying is like if you would have the balls to be like, matter of fact, just to change history, I would have done the RVD way, and I still would have beat Blink. I would have been like, oh fuck, that was Jericho that year. Like I ain't gonna lie, but yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, this is where Silver kind of naps out.
Still here.
Sort of Flintstone vitamins. So okay. Wait, what?
No, I'm still
Oh,
here.
you said, oh, okay, never mind. Just making sure. But yeah, that's all I want to say. But thank you for everybody who's still been tuning in with this banter. And we're gonna definitely do more of these in the future. And I guess you got any final notes or any final things or any?
I
I guess.
think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload the whole thing as one video, but I'm also gonna break it up into different sections.
Right.
Individual sections as well.
Right, so people will know, be like, this whole section is the debate section. Yeah.
The Power Ranger debate will be one separate video.
No. That's not, no. Upload it all in one video, but you know how like YouTubers do what are they called? You know, the things that kind of indicate like this whole segment of talking is in this topic, and then it moves on to like the second topic.
Yeah, I have to figure out how to do the timestamps.
Right, yeah. So do the timestamps. Because it's easier for you because then you're just doing one big upload and you're just editing the video. But then if you're doing two different videos, then you're cutting the video in half, which is gonna kind of be difficult for you. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, no, like the whole 3 hour and 40-minute video would be up as one video.
Oh.
And like as a separate upload.
No, you could do that if you want, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like tagging the video is probably better. Like, for two halves to be like this first half, the viewers know ahead of time, debate, second half, predictions.
Right.
Yeah. Because now we got technology.
I could do it either or.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is that regardless, like, because I know, like, our viewers nowadays, like, they would just want to watch one big video than just, like, two big videos. Which is why, like, I'm still working on I don't want to explain, but like, you know, me and Silver, you know, face off on a game, and I'm heavily editing that, and that's probably gonna be uploaded after this. But yeah.
Yeah.
With that being said, more games to come, and more verses to come too, because me and Silver, we're planning on like, you know, a certain like fighting game. If you know Silver does get you know at a certain price, you know, then
Speaking of that,
all I'm gonna say is like meet me at the. Go on. Never mind.
Speaking of that, I also got a certain anniversary collection of a fighting game.
Ooh.
A certain 30th anniversary.
You want to tell the viewers that, or you want to tell off screen what that is?
Off screen.
Okay, off screen, yeah.
But so, if you also have it, then hell, we can make a whole series out of that one game. Because there's more than one game in that package.
Okay, I'll be listening, and we'll see if it adds up. But all I'm gonna say is the game that I was referencing is like, you know, when Silver's ready to meet me at the streets, you know, then yeah, quality content avert you.
Yeah,
that's gonna be crazy, you know. And I guess we're gonna like make more because I feel like that game has like longer fights than the Nickelodeon. So what I'm thinking is we do best of 5. So whoever gets 5 wins first wins, instead of like, you know, first to 10. Because Nickelodeon, like the time limit and all this, and like how fast you can really die, you can get like, you know, 10 games out. But in that game, no, because each, if I remember correctly, is like it would be like you have to get 2 wins in 1 round. So yeah, first to 5, I would probably say. But that being said, I appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate everything that you know we're doing, and experience more, you know, because we're going to be doing more videos to come, and we're going to expand our lane. So with that being said, wish our loyal viewer a good night, Silver, and don't sleep on this video, please.
Yep.
All right. With that being said, goodbye.
Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Let's give it a bop bop bop.
You done know, in power we trust. Baby.
In America we trust.
Yes. That's my trump